What does it mean to be a Broken Arrow Tiger?
It means there is no such thing as the off season. Whatever it takes.
What does it mean to be a Broken Arrow Tiger?
It means there is no such thing as the off season. Whatever it takes.
It's time for the best 30 section in the state to stand up. Welcome to the jungle. It's time to fight.
Tiger Nation, let's ride.
It's time to represent the Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Good Friday evening and welcome out to Tiger Memorial Stadium here at Broken Arrow High School. A crosstown rivalry between the Broken Arrow Tigers and the Union Redhawks tonight. Broken Arrow 1-0 on the 0-1 on the year. Union 1-0. I'm Adam Hildebrand alongside Steve Spavital. Madison Dildine down on the sidelines for us. Spav, I think the last time that Broken Arrow played Union in football, they didn't have the nickname yet. I think they were just Union at that point.
No, that's right. That's
this
right.
Is the first time they've been the Redhawks.
It's going to be hard. It's still hard for me because I coached there for 16 years,
right.
And it was everything's been Redskins, so it's tough. It's going to be tough for me, but I understand why they changed it. The Redhawks is a great name for them, and
I do like the Redhawks name, and the logo looks pretty good.
Yeah,
and
it does.
In a way, it's a dawn of a new rivalry, but not so much because there is a lot of history between these two schools.
No
and
doubt,
of course,
no doubt.
You've got two schools that in part share a same zip code, share a same city name, and so you've got Union, kind of the Union School District bleeding over into the city of Broken Arrow, and so as Coach Blankenship said on Inside Tiger Football this week, some of these guys go to church together. They're involved in other activities outside of school where they know each other pretty well. So with that, there comes some good football and some fun rivalries. And I suppose you probably know this rivalry about as well as anybody. You've coached on both sides of it.
I was in the middle of it for like I said, 16 years. I never, when I was at Union, I never lost to Broken Arrow. So it was just one of those situations. And now it goes back and forth, and the talent level has changed a little bit for us, and it just seems to be a really, really intense, great rival.
That was going to be my question, because there was a span there, especially in the 90s and early 2000s, where it was Union and Jinx and then everybody else in the state. Those two were really the two that were dominant. What was the factor that got Broken Arrow up to that level where they were competing with those schools on a more regular basis, and obviously BA winning a state championship a few years ago?
It's just the talent level has improved. Demographics has improved. There's a lot of things to it. The commitment from the school, the administration, everything has improved. So the way we're getting our student body involved, and everything has just really improved, and it just seems like you just got to get with the program or get out. So, luckily our program has continued to improve. They're getting good in all phases of the game and all athletics. I mean, I'm not talking about just football, but everything.
I got a sneak peek at least of the intro video tonight for the football team that ArrowVision put together. It looks really good, but there was a line in there that stood out to me, and it said, hey, it's time for the best student section in the state to stand up. And I think Broken Arrow has a real argument there. I mean, they've got themed nights.
I know.
They got all sorts of
Look
stuff
at
going on.
it there.
And right
It's
now,
just-
they're
it's
outnumbering the
amazing.
Union students 2-1. I get this
I
Broken
know.
Arrow's at home, but it's 5 miles to the
Yeah.
Union High School from here. It's not like it's a far drive.
Well, what's funny is Christian Dixon she's the one that handles all of our student body, activities, and she's a Union girl.
That's right.
And it's really amazing what she does, and I tell you, she does a fabulous job with them, and I respect her a lot for that and what she does.
Yeah, a lot of connections of people who graduated from Union and working at Broken Arrow now, or vice versa. When it's all this close together, that's going to be a pretty common thread.
Yeah, it is.
Let's get to some football talk here briefly, and we got plenty of time to break things down here before actual kickoff in about 14 minutes or so. Broken Arrow, Spav, in many aspects, was the better team in that game in Bentonville last week.
Oh, there's no doubt.
But it was Bentonville that walked away with the win. So how did you think this coaching staff kind of addressed that this week in terms of, hey, we did some really good things, but we have to get better in these other areas?
Oh, yeah. Like I told you last week, what a great learning game. Getting into the film room and learning. And, as a coach, sometimes you're going to feel like you're going to throw up or something by watching it, but it's learning. It's getting kids in the right spots. I think what we found out defensively is, our second and third levels didn't play up to par. Some communication errors. Basically we shot ourselves in the foot a lot of times. So that's where we need to improve on our football IQ. We need to really focus on what we do and focus on us. Don't worry about the team. These games don't matter. I mean, surely you want to come win them. That's not the point. What I'm talking about is you're going to put players in certain positions that they haven't been accustomed to, and you're going to see if that's going to work. There's a lot of things going to work with different personnel groupings. Who's going to be your second tight end? Who's going to be this? There's a lot of factors that you have to work out on this, and it's a real important game. And I tell you what we found out probably is statistically is basically we dominated offensively. Defensively, I just felt like our second and third levels, which is our linebackers and secondary, just didn't play up to par, and then we had a poor time tackling as well. We just didn't tackle very well.
Certainly areas of improvement, and you'll have a good chance to potentially see some of those this evening, because I think there's a chance to take some big steps forward tonight. It's about time for the national anthem. Let's take a listen in as we have that honor here ahead of some football between Broken Arrow and Union tonight here on ArrowVision. national anthem on a beautiful evening in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. We'll take a short break. Back with more in just a moment. This is Broken Arrow Tiger football on ArrowVision.
Oh, the way the
Right now, get $200 from TTCU Federal Credit Union when you open a new checking account with direct deposit. What would you buy with $200?
Cars, race cars, my own apartment, 100 coloring books, and a puppy.
Or maybe some groceries and a tank of gas. $200 for whatever works for you from TTCU, because life is better in balance. Right now, get $200 from TTCU Federal Credit Union when you open a new checking account with direct deposit. What would you buy with $200?
Cars, race cars, my own apartment, 100 coloring books, and a puppy.
Or maybe some groceries and a tank of gas. $200 for whatever works for you from TTCU, because life is better in balance.
Welcome back to Tiger Memorial Stadium here in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. I'm Adam Hildebrandt alongside Steve Spavital. Madison Dildine is down on the sidelines for us this evening. Football will be coming up before too long, and we'll hear from Madison in a couple ways. She'll have a 100-yard segment coming up in just a little bit. In fact, let's go down to the Madison Dildine on the sidelines for a little preview. Madison, who are you talking to in the 100-yard segment today?
Yeah, I was able to chat with one of my students, Chance Merrick. I've had the privilege of having him in class for 2 years now in yearbook, and he's just a shining star, the epitome of what every teacher would want out of a student, and I guarantee you it's the exact same way at football. Adam?
I would think so, and I actually had the chance to spend some time with him over the summer as well. He was at sports media camp at Oklahoma State, which I was helping out with.
Really?
So
that's good.
Got to hang out with him a little bit and get to know him a little bit, and he does seem like every bit of that good kid and that leader in the locker room that you need. Broken Arrow hosting Union. Rivalry football tonight. The Tigers looking to pick up their first win of the year in the home opener. It's been, 2 straight years now with an opening game on the road. So now the Tigers coming home, and we're getting to the point. This is regular season game number 2, so we've got 8 more regular season games after this one. 3 of those are on Thursday night, so the schedule is going to get a little wonky down the stretch here. But an opportunity to pick up a big win, and we talked about these games, these first 3 games, they don't matter a whole lot in terms of what your record looks like, but it does seem like a win against Union tonight could be a nice springboard for the rest of the season.
There's absolutely no doubt. I mean, when I say the games don't count, I don't really mean that in a
they're not a waste.
Yeah, I mean, these young men out here, both teams they're fighting their tails off to win this ball game. But the point is we're going to experiment with different things throughout this game. Who's going to be the second tight end, like I was saying before. There's different personnel groupings, different defensive things. We've got to watch ourselves. How are we going to handle their star players? You're going to have to experiment with some things there. That's going to help you when you get into the season. And that's what's important, because here, we've got to be real careful what we do. They throw the football a lot. They're probably 65% of the time they're going to throw the football. So, they throw it quick, and we got to be careful with our blitzing game. We're not going to blitz and sack the quarterback majority of the time because he throws quick. So the whole deal is our defensive line, which I felt like last week was what I thought was going to be our weakness. Ended up being pretty good. They played pretty good, and we got to be careful with our pressures because, I think our D-line just needs to really collapse the pocket and focus on the quarterback, keep him contained. And we'll be okay. Play coverage on the back end.
Now, you mentioned Union getting the ball out quickly. They got a transfer star quarterback in Shaker Reesing. how does that stress the defense when the ball's coming out that fast? Because you don't have a lot of reaction time, and you really don't have a lot of time to pressure the quarterback.
Yeah, and it kind of cuts your playbook in half, because you're going to sit there and say, well, I need to pressure. You got to understand when you need to pressure. You need to pressure, from the field for bootleg actions or things of that nature that are kind of a little slower developing, and you can make the sack on that case. But a lot of it is just let them get it out and play coverage and play hard.
Let's go down to the sideline for the coin toss here in Madison-Dildine as the captains come to the front. Joshua Wilhite, Jalen Franklin, Dietrich Moore, and Chance Mark for Broken Arrow.
Headlines with us, Gary Cow. Line judge is Matt Thomas. And back judge is Alan Smith.
You're going to receive down here. Broken Arrow, you're going to kick the ball towards the clock. Okay, let's turn around, face the clock.
So Broken Arrow won the toss and has deferred to the second half, so the Tigers will kick, and will kick away from the scoreboard. That was Eric Herring, our referee for tonight. Calvin Mann, Gary Caleb, Matt Thomas, and Alan Smith round out the officiating crew for a big-time matchup here at Tiger Memorial Stadium this evening.
And this is a well-experienced crew, too.
Yeah, it's actually my dad, who's up in the booth with us tonight, knows him. So he,
really?
In his time as an official, he knows at least the white hat. So perhaps a couple of guys. And then you've got a connection as well. You got a former player on this crew.
I know, Calvin Mann. He's the umpire there. He played for me. He's a great young man. Following into his grandfather's footsteps. So he's going to be outstanding.
Should be a fun one. Adam Hildebrand alongside Steve Spavital, Madison Dildine on the sideline. We've got Jeremy Bryant behind us doing the spotting. Skip Hyde on stats, Terry Sprider helping produce, as well as Antonio Hurling and several students behind the camera as well. As we look ahead to kickoff, let's take a look at the starting lineups tonight for the Broken Arrow Tigers.
Bang. Trying to start a fight. Trying to start a fight. And now for your starting lineup, brought to you by First National Bank of Broken Arrow. And now for your defensive starters. At defensive end, number 47, Briley Ferguson. At defensive tackle, number 98, Brennan Bain. At nose guard, number 94, Demarius Reynolds. At defensive end, number 92, Cody Watson. At linebacker, number 7, Dietrich Moore. At linebacker, number 1, Austin Newell. At linebacker, number 15, Sterling Condrey. At strong safety, number 5, Donovan Hardaway. At free safety, number 4, Elijah Wilson. At quarterback, number 27, Luke McGowan. At cornerback, number 3, Jalen Franklin. At punter, number 6, Garrett Lynch. At kicker, number 28, Hunter Martins. Bang. And now for your offensive starters. At left tackle, number 71, Jamison Mejia. At left guard, number 55, Ross Martin. At center, number 77, Ricardo Fernandez. At right guard, number 72, Chance Merrick. At right tackle, number 74, Reed Adams. At tight end, number 8, Joshua Wilhite. At wide receiver, number 11, Cade Matthews. At wide receiver, number 3, Caleb Barnett. At wide receiver, number 23, Adavian Rummins. At running back, number 24, Nate Jones. At quarterback, number 10, Owen Jones. That's your Tiger starting lineup, brought to you by First National Bank of Broken Arrow. On here trying to start a fight.
There's a look at the starting lineup for the Broken Arrow Tigers. Broken Arrow again winning the toss, deferring to the second half. The Tigers will kick off to start the game. Tiger Memorial Stadium, mostly in shadow at this point from the setting sun behind us. A little sunlight in each end zone, and the Union fans, for the time being at least, are staring straight into the sun.
That's the way it should be.
you get the home crowd, the good view, the shade, and the good view.
Okay, this is going to be a fun game now. Field position is going to be real crucial. The way we do it, we've got to really eliminate the factors that affect field position. So we've got to win this field position battle. And that'll be the difference of the game.
That was one of your Matthews Ford keys to the game, was winning the field position battle. I think one of the other ones was basically worry about yourselves.
Yeah,
this is going to be
focus on ourselves, and prove our football IQ, which means don't give up big plays. We lack some communication, it felt like, on our special teams. We need to iron those things out and continue with great offense and hog the ball, because we had so much possession time and running the football, conversions. I mean, we were awesome on offense last week.
The communication, in particular on coverage units, better be pretty good tonight,
because
Union's got some athletes back there.
Absolutely.
You've got Devin Jordan back to return, as well as Grayson Tempest, a guy who can play both wide receiver and quarterback. Hunter Martins has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. The kick is away. It's a high, short kick near side. A fair catch called for and made at the 30-yard line.
Well, one of the things they did, they returned a kickoff last week.
Okay.
And so, it's a dangerous kickoff team. Coach Davis over there from Union, he's been a special teams coordinator there for, years. And he's outstanding at it. So now what we'll see here is multiple formations here in his next few series.
A lot of them will be designed to get the ball to Dion McKinney, who has just motioned out to the right side. Empty set here for Shaker Rising, the transfer quarterback. Looking to his right, zips it over the right side. Here comes the crossing route into space at the 40-yard line. First down yardage and out of bounds around midfield. A gain of about 18 on first down as he hit Gino Boyd on that short crossing route.
Right, and that's what they do. See, that's a short, quick passing route. And I tell you, if I'm not mistaken by the film that I studied, empty formation is probably their number 2 formation.
See a lot more of that then tonight. 2 tight ends motion from left to right. Lane Wood, one of the 2. Now here comes Tempest in motion across the formation. They give it to him on the jet sweep. He stiff arms a man and then gets tangled up, wrapped up around the feet, out of bounds.
Yeah, we stretch it to the sideline, but, we got to make some tackles.
It was Elisha Wilson that eventually got him out of bounds. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8 from the 50.
See, that's what we want on first down. See, every formation has been different.
And here's more motion. I think they've gone in motion on every play so far as well. Here's the snap. Look out for the reverse. There it is. That's Boyd trying the right side. He's bottled up pretty well. Does break a tackle.
Good.
About 3 more yards down near the 46-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 5, maybe more like 4 yards.
So what they're basically doing is running multiple formations. See how we line up. This way it's going to be how they're going to attack us later. So now they're in empty quads here.
Cody Watson, one of the starting defensive ends on the stop there, and we got a timeout from Broken Arrow. Looked like they were having a tough time getting the personnel switched around with that quad diamond on the left side there.
Well, the thing with quads, when you put it up there, is you can't just put 3 people out there, because then they're going to throw a smoke out there, and then they're going to block 3 on 3, and then he can find his own hole. So what you have to basically do is you have to match it up somehow. You got to force it, play over top. It's tough. And plus you had a wide receiver on the other side. Now then you have to look at who's the wide receiver on the other side, because that guy's going to be one-on-one. It's a one-on-one matchup. Now, is he their stud or is he one of their top players? You have to figure that out. So there's a lot into that, because they're showing such multiple formations. we got to line up to these things. And, you know, they're showing quads here. Last time they were playing 11 personnel. Then it was 10 personnel. So they're changing their personnel groups. They're shifting, motioning, and doing some things to try to get us off balance and make a mistake communication-wise.
You saw the Tigers starting lineup. Here's how Union lines up offensively. Bennett Ringleb, Maddox Gilkey, Emmerich Moore, Jamiko Matthews, and Jesse Jones Jr., the starting line. Shaker Rising at quarterback, Deion McKinney, the running back. Here there's the snap, handoff left side, not a lot of room. That'll bring up 4th down and about 3, and we'll see if Union elects to punt it away here or not. On the tackle that time for the Tigers was Austin Newell. Coach spoke highly of him. Yep, here we go, 4th down and 3.
There's
quad
that
left.
empty quads.
Rising takes the snap, looking right, now looking back to his left. Tigers have it blown up. Can they make the tackle? Yes, they can.
Yes.
He's held up at the 45. The Broken Arrow defense comes up with a 4th down stop and gets the ball for the first time.
What a great play, too. I tell you what happened when they threw that smoke out there, which is kind of a hitch route kind of behind the line of scrimmage, and what basically we attacked it real quickly. And really nice, really nice. I loved it.
That's a big confidence builder for this defense
Absolutely.
early on. All right, here come the Tiger offense for the first time.
See, we're
a whole bunch of motion now from Broken Arrow. Oh, look at the press coverage here. Oh, there's offside. The Union corner came up on the near side. That's Devin Jordan, who was back to return the kickoff a moment ago and immediately trying to shut Caleb Barnett. Spav, that says to me that they're worried about Barnett's speed today.
They're going to press him.
We've got Cooper Bates getting the start at quarterback tonight. Nate Jones in at tailback. 2 tight ends lined up on the left side.
See, there's no one over deep.
Will Height and Siebert both in the game.
They're fitting the run with safeties now.
Jones strung up around the shoulders. He's actually able to fight back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, that particular down, Union was manning up the wide receivers, and they had both safeties down fitting into the run.
They've got some talented
and they still are here.
They're going to put the ball in their hands a little bit. Here's a quarterback run up the middle from Bates, lowers his shoulder and gains a handful down to the 47. That'll bring up 3rd down and 2.
Very good. Very good. We can convert these things. You know, 3rd and 2 is a lot easier than 3rd and 12.
It's a big chance to move the chains right here.
Now they're loosening their coverage a little bit here. But I can see them blitzing now. They're blitzing a little bit.
Look over to the sideline. 3rd downs last week. Broken Arrow converted 10 of 17 3rd down attempts. That's a bunch of 3rd down attempts. Handoff. No, it's a pass to the near side. Looked like some contact there, but no call. Pass is incomplete ahead of the intended target, and that will bring up 4th down and 2.
So they're saying the behind the line of scrimmage? Is that what they're saying with the contact?
That's entirely possible.
Yeah.
Which I think it was. I think that would be accurate to say. Now, here my question is there a sugar punt in or something like that from this Tiger offense? Tried the hard count. It's not there. Bates on 4th down and 2. Here comes press coverage. There's not much between the 2 guys on the near side. Handoff to Jones straight up the middle. Lowers his shoulder. He stood up. I don't think he got it. He's about 2 feet short. Back-to-back 4th down stops give the ball back to the Union Redskins.
Two
on
good
their own
defensive
41.
stands, really.
46, pardon me. Well, the defense back out for the 2nd time. Let's go down to the sideline and Madison Dildine. Madison.
Last week we saw a lot of leadership on the sidelines, and even more so this week. Dietrich Moore was getting in their faces saying they will take everything that we give them. He said, you got to communicate and just keep talking. He said, we're good. We're good. Adam.
Thank you, Madison. Dietrich Moore certainly expected to be a leader of this defense all throughout this year, if not the team as a whole. Here, the motion into I formation here. Handoff left side. Jumping through the hole is Deion McKinney. He's got about 7 yards down to the Tiger 48 or so.
See, that's the advantage of using these tight ends. That are off the line of scrimmage. They can move anywhere. They can flex out. They can move as a wing, a slot, and in this case, a fullback. And that was really a neat situation. Just run the power play.
Rising in the shotgun. Last year, starting quarterback Rayson Tempest motions into the backfield next to him for Union. Rising rolling right, lobbing it down the field. He's got a man behind the defense, but it's overthrown. Jalen Franklin in coverage.
Well, we had the coverage, but the ball was thrown deep, and he just faded off. But played the bootleg really good, especially when they went in. They shifted into 2 backs in the gun, and that's kind of dangerous because one of them's a quarterback.
3rd down and 4. There's empty again. 3 receivers right, 2 left. Reising takes the snap, zips it left, caught at the 42-yard line. That's enough for a first down. A big hit back at the 43. They'll give him the 42 for forward progress. Leading the way was Dietrich Moore.
And that's their tailback they got from Booker T. Washington.
He's quite the player, Deion McKinney.
He is.
And we've seen him motion out as a wide receiver a couple of times now.
You know, but what they're doing is they're getting the ball to an athlete in space, and that's dangerous.
1st and 10 Union from the Broken Arrow 42. Scoreless ball game. 8 minutes to play in the first quarter. High formation handoff. McKinney runs through his own blocker and then is dropped for a gain of about 6, maybe even 7, clear down to the 36-yard line. Leading the way that time for the Tigers.
You know, you don't see him underneath the
Condry.
center very often anymore. You know, the quarterback. This is kind of interesting. Going a little bit old school here. Now we're in the gun.
We've seen him go under center. We've seen him go empty. We've seen him go 2 tight end motion. 2 receivers and a tight end right here on 2nd down and 4. Jet sweep. They fake the pitch back. Now they want to throw it deep. That ball's floated up in the air, and it is incomplete, but a flag comes flying in, 2, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
It would appear that'll be defensive pass interference.
I think it was, and I don't think he needed to do it either.
I think he just got tied up with that receiver trying to come back to the ball. The tough part about that, and this is hard when you're playing man coverage downfield like that, in theory, as the defensive back there, once you see that receiver turn around and look for the ball, you really should be doing the same, but not a chance to turn around and find that one in time.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, we had good pressure on the quarterback. We had everything contained. We did a nice job. We just came out on the wrong end on that penalty.
To be clear, you can't just outright turn and look at the ball. You do have to continue to guard the receiver and kind of turn your head and look at the same time. It's a difficult play to make. Here's a handoff, McKinney. 1st down and 10. He breaks a couple of tackles at the left sideline and is finally popped out of bounds.
He just makes people miss. He does a good job.
That's
well,
very close to a first
when you talk
down.
about coverage, you know, man coverage, when you think about man coverage, man is the issue. When you talk about zone, the ball is the issue. And sometimes you get tied up in that. You lose sight of the ball.
1st and 10 Union from the Tiger 11. Still scoreless. They faked the pitch, handed instead to McKinney. He was initially bottled up, but able to split a couple of defenders. Gains about 3 down around the 8-yard line.
Yeah, they kind of ran a little lead play in there, special. They're utilizing the motion quite a bit. You know, they're running a lot of smoke and mirrors right now.
Second down and 6. 2 receivers left. Tight end right. There's the snap. Reising looking right, dumps it off into the flat. That's Tempest trying to get outside. Turns the corner and is popped out of bounds. Down around they gave him the 4-yard line. That brings up 3rd down and about 3. Elisha Wilson forced him out.
That was nice. We had great coverage on the play.
Third down and 3. Union so far, 1 for 2 in 3rd down situations. Reising dumps it off to the right side. McKinney catches, sprinting towards the front pylon, and he's in. Touchdown Redhawks. They take the early lead with 6:12 to play here in the first.
Yeah, we have to be careful on that. They love to swing the back out of the backfield and utilize that in space. We've had it defended earlier. We had it defended the first time. That time we just got tied up in the formation that they had. It was a difficult formation because they had all the run guys in there. So we're anticipating run.
Well, that's what they like to do. They scheme the bejesus out of you and give you a whole bunch of different looks. Isaiah Forbes on for the kick. It is up, and it is through. It's 7-0 Union with 6:12 to play here in the first quarter. Well, let's send it down to the south end zone and our first presentation of the game here at Tiger Memorial Stadium.
Credit Union Teacher of the Game. Tonight, we honor Holden Rowe of Broken Arrow High School. This past summer at the Senior Athletic Leadership Conference, athletes were asked to nominate a teacher who made an impact on them during their educational career at Broken Arrow. Mr. Rowe was nominated by 2 different student athletes. Senior varsity soccer player Ryan Caruth said, "I could always tell Mr. Rowe loved his job, which made the classroom environment amazing for us." Senior varsity wrestler Michael Cooper wrote, "Mr. Rowe is the most upbeat teacher, but he keeps academics in mind. He is always kind and caring." Presenting our winner, Holden, with a TTCU Federal Credit Union gift card for $100 is community relations partner Rosie Kramer, BAHS assistant principal Christy Smith, and principal at Broken Arrow High School Crystal Barber. Congratulations to our TTCU Teacher of the Game, Holden Rowe, and thank you to TTCU Federal Credit Union for your support of teachers, education, and Broken Arrow Public Schools.
Right now, get $200 from TTCU Federal Credit Union when you open a new checking account with direct deposit. What would you buy with $200?
Cars, race cars, my own apartment. 100.
High short kick up the far side is caught by a Tiger sprinting out of bounds. Broken Arrow will have decent field position to start this drive out around the 30-yard line or so. They're marking them out at the 28.
You know, both teams have had great field position the whole game.
Yeah, they really have.
You know, that's not a factor right now. We just got to continue that fact. But we need to be able to run the football. We're not able to run the football. We ran the ball for over 300 yards last week. We have to be able to run the football, not rely on the passing game.
And those guys up front are going to be largely responsible for it. Jameson Mejia, Ross Martin, Ricardo Fernandez, Chance Merrick, and Reed Adams. Caden Jones, the star freshman in at running back, carries it over the middle.
Nice.
And breaks through a couple of tacklers. Give him about 8 on the play out to the 36-yard line.
Boy, their safeties are extremely active on the run now. Play action is going to get them here.
I was about to say, how do you take advantage of that? Here's a whistle. There's a lot of movement up front. I don't see a flag. Oh, there's the flag, and it's a false start on the Tigers.
Play ball, full start.
That's unfortunate after the 8-yard gain.
I know.
Makes it second and long.
Well, if we can get a good yardage on this play, we'll be okay.
Jones carried the ball for 70 yards last weekend and a touchdown, and you can tell he's got a chance to be special.
Yeah. See, I like this concept right here is because
he basically got quads left and the running back left. He zip it to the left side. Caught by Wilhite. He's got nowhere to go. Needed a block, didn't get it. He might have gained a foot just out past the 31.
Yeah, that was the whole issue, is just not blocking for him. Well, the whole thing is when you have a nub side where you don't have a wide receiver, you just have a tight end or something, you're forcing the corner to play on the run. I would rather have that than a safety playing on the run.
Nate Jones checks in at running back. He's the best pass protect running back the Tigers have, and this is certainly a passing down situation on 3rd down and 7. Quad right now with 2 tight ends going to the right side. Max protect as Jones rolls to his right, throws right side. It's short, incomplete. Looking for Barnett. That'll bring up 4th down and 7.
Yeah, not a good series right there. You know, it just didn't seem comfortable. It just seems like we were out of sync on that series. It was like we were trying something different. We were trying the quads, shifting the tight end and the wing over to the 2 receiver side, making it quads. It just seemed nothing was in sync that time. So we've got to get that ironed out. Now these guys will come after a punt now.
Looks like Broken Arrow might have jumped off sides trying to prevent them coming after a punt. That makes it 4th and about a dozen. Punt team was on the field before. It'll stay on the field here. Garrett Lynch, the punter, kicks it away. A good end-over-end kick that bounces at the 45 and is caught on the bounce by Tempest. Breaks a tackle, then stumbles forward down to the Broken Arrow 42 or so. Tempest caught that at full speed, and that makes you real nervous if you're the punt team.
Well, he gained, almost 15, almost 20 yards gain just by fielding that punt.
And that's what Spav, I think, everybody likes to see the exciting punt return touchdown. But what I think is undervalued is those 10, 15, 20-yard returns.
No
that
doubt.
You don't break them all the way, but that's 2 first downs you don't have to pick up here to get to the end zone.
That's right. I mean, instead of having the ball on the 35, they have it on the plus 45.
First and 10 in Broken Arrow territory for you.
Great field position for him.
Leading 7-0, 4:45 to play first quarter. Looking left. Rising, flag flies.
See, we didn't get him contained.
Rising throws to runs to the right side, that is. Gets out near the first down marker, but a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Well, if you look at, we were playing coverage. So our D-line was really doing a good job of collapsing the pocket, but then we kind of got out of our lane and allowed the quarterback to come under.
It's part of the challenge of
we
defending
can't let
this
the
Union
quarterback
team.
run the football. I don't think he's a runner.
Receiver. Ball was never thrown.
The flag was for an ineligible receiver downfield, but the ball was never thrown. So the play will stand, and it's about right at a 10-yard gain down to the Broken Arrow 33.
Yeah, we need to contain this quarterback.
Unfortunately there, if you had just contained him enough to make him throw it, you would have been able to take advantage of the penalty.
Absolutely.
First and 10 from the Tiger 33 for Union. Trips left. Rising, rolling left. There's a guy that got tackled. There comes a flag. That'll be a hold. The ball downfield is caught down at the 8-yard line, but that was a hold in the half back in the backfield. That'll make it first down and 20.
It was actually a pretty decent throw because he's throwing left. He didn't have his shoulders turned in. He had to turn it late and threw it. And it wasn't a great throw, but it was.
Offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot, first down.
So as it turns out, you essentially go back to the original line of scrimmage, but now it's first and 20 instead of first and 10.
Right.
So we'll see if the Tigers can take advantage of that.
Well, you need to. This is what hurt us last week a little bit.
Yep.
Was these long conversions.
Oh, boy, that flag was 5 yards deep in the backfield, so it's first and 25. This is a huge opportunity here for Broken Arrow. McKinney moves to the left. Now they dump it off to him. Oh, one-handed catch behind his back. He's got room across the 45, down to the 40, knocked down from behind.
God, he makes people miss.
He really does. That's a gain of about a dozen.
Well, they're throwing that jailbreak flare, that flare screen. They're throwing the flare to the running back to this side. In the backside, they were throwing a jailbreak. So they're pulling all the linemen over there. So that was a dual screen, basically. And, boy, he gets in space. He just has enough wiggle to make people miss.
7-0 Union.
Oh, they're going to throw it
Rising
back to him?
wants to throw it deep. Got a man behind the defense, but he missed him short and right. That was not far from being intercepted.
I know.
That'll bring up third down and very long, about 15.
I think they wanted the back out of the backfield. I think they wanted number 6. Their tailback, McKinney. I think they wanted him flaring out of the backfield. We had a well covered. So
you're saying essentially the check down was just throw it as far as you can and see what happens.
They had his second read and just throw it deep.
Third and long. Rising going to throw. Pressure. There's the screen to Tempest. He's got room over the right side to the 30, and he's got first down yardage down around the 21-yard line.
Yeah, we've got to get that shallow drag. That's what my boys run down. That's leech ball right there, what I call leech ball. They look over there, and if they see green grass in front of them, they throw it.
You got the drag. You got the mesh concept in there. You got the stick.
And they converted the first and 25.
And the third and 14.
Yeah.
That one stings. First and 10 now from the Tiger 22. It's still just a 7-0 ball game. Tigers trying to find a way to get a stop. Two tight ends, now one motions into the backfield for the I formation. Handoff right side to Neely. Neely breaks the tackle and is heading towards the end zone. Touchdown, Union.
Just running a lead play out there, a wide lead. Fullback kick out, tailback underneath. Yeah, but we missed a tackle. You know, we've got to make tackles.
13-0. Union goes on top from the 22-yard score from Damar Neely.
Well, here's where we need to respond. We have to respond. We don't need to. We have to.
PAT on its way. And it is good. 14-0 Union. 3:06 to play in the first quarter. And Spav, the defense has not been far off so far. It's been a couple of plays that have kept drives alive for Union and allowed the Redhawks to score. But the offense has really struggled. So far, 12 yards on 7 plays.
Exactly.
So they got to figure out something to get going here.
Well, you know, field position is a big factor, too. Union has had tremendous field position. And we've got to get some good field position here. And we have to really hog the ball, as I told you before. We've got to keep their offense off the field. And we have that ability. We saw it last week.
I think everybody's getting waved to on the feed here.
Who are they waving to?
I think everybody who's watching the feed. Well, hello, everyone.
Oh.
Thanks for coming alongside. I think Madison Dildine might know more about what's going on right now than we do, which is not an uncommon occurrence.
No.
So let's go down to the sideline and Madison Dildine. Madison?
Yeah, guys, this month through September, every week they're going to be choosing a different child with cancer and doing a St. Jude salute. So hopefully throughout our home games here, we'll get some more action. And hello to all of the St. Jude kiddos that are watching right now. Adam?
Oh, that is
I love
great.
that.
That's great. I donate to it every year. You know, it's just a great cause. Great cause.
Well, Barnett back to return. Kick is away. High and short. Caught at the Broken Arrow 19. Looking for a seam. Oh, a big hit at the 27-yard line. So it'll be a slightly better return than a touchback, and the Tigers will start first and 10. That was Joshua Wilhite on the return there. 3:01 to play in the first quarter. I don't think you have to score by the end of the quarter by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think you need to score on this drive.
Absolutely we do.
First and 10 from the 27. I'm not even sure it has to be a touchdown, but some sort of points here to just get some momentum flowing on the offensive side. Trips right now with the tight end motion. Not a lot of room to work on this carry. That'll be a loss of a couple back to the 25. Mark him clear back at the 24. Several Union defenders in on that stop. That brings up second down and 13, and immediately the Tigers are behind the chains on this drive. Two receivers to either side. Empty set here. There's a snap. Jones looking right. Throws right, and it is too high, incomplete, looking for Cade Matthews. And it brings up third down and about 13 for the Tiger 24.
We're just not in sync right now. We have to.
Nate Jones checks in at running back. Caden Jones checks out of the game. Two receivers left, one right. Owen Jones over the left side. It is incomplete. A lot of traffic. Going to bring up fourth down and about 13. (14-10) Union. 2:22 remaining in this first quarter. The Tigers now have 9 yards of offense on 10 plays and have possessed the ball for just more than 2.5 minutes. There's a snap. It's a fake punt.
Oh.
He's swallowed up in the backfield. I'm not sure if it was an actual fake punt or if he saw the defense coming and had to try to tuck it.
He just pulled it up. Oh.
Boy, that's rough.
I tell you, that is rough. Now, see, here we're talking about field position again.
It doesn't get a whole lot better than this for Union.
Starting field position.
.212 to play in the first. Now, at this point, you gotta go into weather the storm mode because there's still 3 full quarters of football to play.
Oh, there's plenty of football, but
you got to figure out a way to swap some momentum here.
Right, we're painting ourselves in a corner right now.
Empty set. Trips left to right. You got a whistle. A flag from the back judge. That looks like it'll be a delay. Yep, delay a game on Union, so that backs the Redhawks up 5 yards at least.
So they're staying in empty here, so.
We got another stoppage here. Now they're going to reset the play clock. .212 to play first quarter. Reising looking right, turns back, throws it left. It's too high for Grayson Tempest. That'll bring up 2nd down and 15. That was interesting play design, Spav.
Yeah, it was. You know, they had good protection in there. They brought one receiver back in for protection, so they had max protection, basically, out of empty.
When you talk max protect, you're looking at, what, a maximum of 2 routes, right?
Well, no, when they say max protection is you have more than they have in the box.
Okay.
So.
I formation on 2nd and 15. Handoff right side.
Lead.
Hit hard. McKinney dropped for a gain of about 3, maybe 3.5. Brings up 3rd down and a dozen. Leading the way on the tackle that time was Sterling Condry for Broken Arrow.
Yeah, they run a lot of these leads in there. They're pulling linemen up in there and creating more people at the point of attack.
2
so our
receivers
second,
left.
3rd levels need to really play well.
2 tight ends right.
See, there's a
Tempest on the catch. Inside the 15, hit at the 12 and run out of bounds. He's a couple yards short of the first down. The Union player had a helmet come off. So he'll have to go out of the game for the time being. That was one of the tight ends.
See, that's a situation where the quarterback's just getting the ball in and out of his hands. And they're running, getting it empty and changing their personnels and their personnel groupings and making it really tough on us.
Quick pass right side on 4th down. Tempest trying to turn the corner. He's wrapped up and spun out of bounds. The Tigers come up with a 4th down stop. After Union got the ball in excellent field position, the Broken Arrow defense comes up with a second turnover on downs.
It was great play. They're running the bubble route out there, smoke route out there with 3 receivers, but we did a good job lining up. We had 3 on their 3. We forced it to the outside and made the play and kept the leverage.
That drive started on the Broken Arrow 19 for Union, and it ended on the Broken Arrow 13. That's a huge stop.
Huge.
We just talked about finding a way to grab some momentum. That's a big way to do it.
Absolutely.
Now can you go score? 2 receivers right. Hand off to Nate Jones. Nowhere to go. Runs into the pile. He got about 2 yards out to the 15.
But the way they're attacking the run, they're bringing the safeties down. If you look at their safeties are heavy in the run. So they've got 9 people basically on the run. In this case, they'll have 8.
How do you counter that?
Well, you got man coverage, so you got to be able to work on that combination. And number 2, play action.
Here's a screen pass left side. Cutting it back up the middle. That was, I believe, the tight end, Will Height. He got 3, maybe 4 out towards the 19-yard line. That brings up 3rd and a manageable 4 to 4.5 yards.
Well, Will Height's a tough dude, isn't he? He's a tough kid.
He's not afraid to stick his nose anywhere, that's for sure.
No.
One receiver to either side. Tight end on either side. It's an ace pistol formation. A whistle and a timeout, I think, from the Union sideline.
Yeah.
22 seconds left in the first quarter. This first quarter seems like it's taken a year. I mean,
I know.
It's been a long quarter.
You know, like last week, it was just like, what? It's over?
Right.
It was that quick.
Nope. So far, it's Union leading Broken Arrow 14-0. Union trying to stay undefeated on the season. The Tigers trying to even their record at 1-1.
Now this 3rd and 4, we need to really have that. We need to convert this.
And you know, Spav, yeah, obviously you'd like to go down and score, and we both said that that's important. But to move the chains here at least gives you some breathing room. Because if you got to punt it from here, you're punting from inside your own 20.
Yeah.
That's certainly not ideal.
See, I used to call this the blue zone, or yellow zone. Some people call it yellow. You got to be cautious.
Sure.
And then blue open, and then red. There's different zones here, but you got to be careful here. We got to convert this thing, be sound in what we're doing.
Coming out of the timeout, you expect to see anything tricky here?
No, I don't think we can be.
3rd and 4. Looking over the middle. Caught by Barnett, but he's rocked at the 19-yard line. Linebacker came up and just absolutely took him out.
Yeah.
On the stop that time was Bryce Ashlock.
See, what was interesting about that is dragging into the boundary.
Barnett's holding his hand, it looks like, coming off the field.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's all right. That was a big lick. Brings up 4th down and 3 after we flip the field around here. After one quarter, it's Union 14, Broken Arrow 0. Let's go down to the south end zone for a presentation from Field of Folds of Honor.
After her military service, Melinda completed 2 master's degree programs and began her career as an educator with Broken Arrow Public Schools. She is currently serving as an assistant principal at the BA Freshman Academy. Tiger fans, please help us congratulate tonight's Folds of Honor Quick Trip hometown hero, Sergeant Melinda Silva. Thank you, Melinda Silva, for your heroism, courage, and bravery you displayed while protecting and serving our country. Tiger fans, one more time, make some noise for Sergeant Melinda Silva.
Well, the student section down there doing the wave, and as Madison Dildine told us a little while ago, September is National Childhood Cancer Awareness Month to bring awareness to pediatric cancer. Tonight we've got the Children of St. Jude Children's Hospital tune into us here on ArrowVision. A big hello to all those kids tuned in tonight. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast. I hope this game will continue to be a good one as well. Snap back, the kick is away this time. That's a good spiraling punt, and it is caught back at the 45-yard line of Union. Tempest to his right, breaks a couple tackles, hit, bounces off again. Now we've got a flag clear back at the 20-yard line, and the punter, Garrett Lynch, was getting double-teamed on a block back there. I wonder if we may have an illegal block, and if that's the case, then that's going to move the ball back into Union territory.
Yeah, unnecessary blocking is probably what they're doing. But that Tempest is a dangerous little young man.
Well,
he that's twice he's moved the ball at least another 20 yards and put the ball inside the 50. A great field position for him because of his athleticism and what he's doing, fielding the ball.
It is a hold called against Union, so that'll back the football up into Union territory. And Spav, what concerns me about that punt return, granted it is hard when you're covering punts specifically, but there was a few guys that did not really try to wrap him up. He was trying to shoulder him and knock him down.
Exactly.
And with Tempest, you better have a more sure, form tackle.
Well, he broke 2 tackles, I think, just before they brought him down.
1st and 10 Union from its own 46. This is significantly worse starting field position than the Redhawks had on their last drive, which the Tigers were able to get a stop. I formation. And off right side, McKinney bottled up. Boy, look at him drive those legs forward. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. He was hit about a yard and a half, 2 yards deep. But he was almost horizontal with the playing surface, but he pushed forward. Briley Ferguson leading the way on the stop for the Tigers.
Trying to run a lead play out there, just basically fullback kick out. Now they're underneath. They're going to run a toss sweep to the field here because they got all the bodies.
Handoff left side instead. McKinney breaking room around the left edge. Now it's a foot race inside the 30. Elisha Wilson with a nice open field tackle. Drops him at about the 15-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Union there.
See, that's interesting what they're doing. They're underneath the center and running. They got all the big men there. They got 3 tight ends there. And those tight ends are blocking. You're going to run a toss sweep out there, or you can run the lead play like they did there. Is really nice effector. Here he's underneath the center again.
2 tight ends right, a receiver to either side. Fake the handoff. Rising dumps it over the near side, caught by the tight end. A gain of about 4 down around the 11-yard line. That was Wood on the catch. And Spav, it seems to me, often with teams like this that throw a ton of formations at you, they'll have trends to run certain plays out of certain formations. It seems like Union does a pretty nice job staying away from that and mixing it up quite a bit.
Absolutely they are. They definitely are. But see, here they're in a different formation. It's just every down they're in a different formation, and you've got to figure it out and line up. It's a defensive nightmare.
Handoff straight up the middle this time. About a 6-yard gain down around the 5-yard line. That was Neely on the carry. Dietrich Moore in on the stop. Sterling Condry in on the tackle as well. Ferguson will come off and get a breather here. 1st and goal, Union from the Tiger 5. This Tiger defense has spent a lot of time on the field, Spav, well over 10 minutes already.
Exactly.
10.5 to play, 2nd quarter. I formation. Neely over the left guard. Hit, tumbling forward. I think he stayed on top of a defender, and he's in.
Well, they just created a new line of scrimmage then. There again, we've got to play well on the 2nd, 3rd level. We've got to fit people in the run that aren't supposed to, like safeties and stuff. We got to do what it takes to fit the run.
I'll tell you what, Damar Neely did not waste any time hitting that hole. He got the football, and he saw the hole immediately and was in there in a hurry. When you've got guys that are that sure with their feet, that might have been blocked, or maybe it was just a bad hold. In either case, the PAT misses, and that keeps a point off the board. It's 20-0 Union with 10:18 to play here in the 2nd quarter.
Well, the bottom line on that is that the running back is running downhill hard.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing that's causing him to cut back. There's nothing causing him to bounce out or anything. He just hits the hole downhill 100 miles an hour, and that's what's tough. We're allowing him success.
20-0. Union leading Broken Arrow with 10:18 to play in the 2nd quarter. Let's go down to the sideline in Madison Dildine. Madison?
Yeah, guys, like Adam, you just said, it is 20-0, so obviously not an ideal score for this point in the game. But after that last drive, our offensive linemen were coming off the field saying, it's about to click, just keep pushing. So there's still energy down here, and they're still staying optimistic. Guys?
That's great to hear.
Yeah, and Spav, it's going to have to start up front because there's not been a lot of holes. There's not been a lot of time to throw the football. So those 5 guys, glad to hear they're staying optimistic. And if they can get it to click on one of these drives, that would certainly be helpful. Jones back to receive in place of Caleb Barnett. Remember, we saw Barnett holding a wrist coming off the field a little while ago, so that's a little bit of a concern. We'll see if he comes out for this next drive. Kicks away. It's a high, short kick, and that deflects off of a Broken Arrow player. Bounces out of bounds. That'll mark it at around the 21-yard line. Spav, let's.
I wonder why you don't let it just go out of bounds.
That was going to be my question. Is that as a coach, are you concerned enough about the potential funky bounce that you wanted to catch that, or is it better to let that go out of bounds?
But
hopefully.
I think just the angle of the kick tells you need to let it go out of bounds. You know, it's kind of like an outfielder in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You got to judge if you're going to dive for it shallow, whether it's a high blooper or a low one, you know, because one of them's going to go to the fence.
Caden Jones in the backfield. We've not seen Kyrie Harris at all today. He led the team in rushing last week. Dump pass near side. That's Jones. Ushered out of bounds around the 20-yard line. He might have lost a yard.
It's a good play, but the whole thing is it wasn't timed right. We got to have the timing on that a little bit better. And you got to have good throws. You got to have good throws on that.
Good throws, and right now the safeties aren't worried about the deep ball at all, so they're looking for reasons to come up.
Look how shallow they are. Now they're going to a man-free type concept.
Hand out to Jones.
A cover 3.
Jumps over one man, spins off a tackler, would-be tackler. Got about 3 out to the 23-yard line. Brings up 3rd down and 8.
See, we're having long 3rd down conversions because we're not efficient on 1st down.
Yeah, the Tigers have really struggled in terms of 1st down yardage. Well, they've struggled in terms of yardage overall, 16 plays for 14 yards. 3rd down and 8. Broken Arrow looking for its first down of the game with 9.5 minutes left here in the second quarter. Long pass, far side, it's off the mark. He was looking for Rummins. Couldn't quite find him. The Tigers now just 4 for 9 throwing the football combined today.
Yeah, we're just out of sync completely. You know, and that's Union's doing that. Union is keeping us off balance. They're doing things. You know, they're mixing their coverage. They're running in and out of their coverages.
You know, and they haven't gotten a ton of pressure on the quarterback in this game, but they've gotten close enough that it's made those guys uncomfortable, and they're having to, throw it on 3rd and long pretty much every drive. Here's another decent return from Tempest down to the Tiger 41.
10-yard return, that's perfect. The thing that makes him dangerous is that he fields every punt. He's going to field every punt or work to field it. That's what I used to have mine do.
The average starting field position, Spav, for this Union offense.
It has to be plus.
It is the Broken Arrow 46-yard line.
Yeah.
That is not a good method.
And that's just because of the one, like the opening drive, one of them. When we went for the
started on the 13, or started on the 19.
19.
Yeah, the opening drive started in Tiger territory. Rising fakes the handoff, wants to throw deep.
Good coverage.
Oh, that's got a chance to be intercepted. Wilson couldn't quite get there.
See, that was
we got a flag down behind the line of scrimmage.
See, that's a 2-receiver route, max protection, so there could be a holding. Yeah. They were max protecting, giving the quarterback a lot of time. It was just a 2-receiver route.
10-yard penalty will make it at least 1st and 20. I think it might be a little further than that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be a full 1st and 23. All the way back at the Union 46-yard line. Now, they converted one of these already, Spav. You got to keep them from doing it again.
Oh, I know, that's right. In 3 plays. One of them was a 3rd and, 14?
3rd and 14, yep.
See, we can't let them hit that shallow route. See, Tempest is at the top.
A little too much running room on the left side there. But you have another flag down. That's right at the point of attack, too.
They're getting some smoke and mirrors. I could see something there.
It's another hold on Union. Union has been highly efficient in this game. The Redhawks were averaging 6.9 yards per play. Even at 6.9, that math doesn't add up here. So you got to find a way to get the stop. You just can't give up that big play.
No, this is a good time for us to have good field position now. We got to hook it up here.
It is first down and the Texas border for the Union Redhawks. First and 33.
There's a
Rising.
There's the shallow route, but then there's
side incomplete.
That was an interesting route. That was basically an out and up, quick out and up, and then a comeback out of it.
Trying to get a look of who it was that put the pressure on there. Might have been Condrey making the decision to come, out of the zone essentially and pressure Rising. It looked like. Do you think that was the right decision to come up and pressure him there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You can't let him run the football. He lost contain. You can't let the quarterback run the football. Make him use his arm.
Second and forever. Up the far side. Across the 45 and out of bounds. Dietrich Moore eventually running him out of bounds. On the catch that time was Lane Wood. Well,
that was a tight end screen. You don't see that very often, but that's tight end screen. Got 15 yards.
It still brings up third down and 22.
Got to be careful of the deep ball. Keep everything underneath.
And then you need 11 guys running to the football.
Keep the quarterback contained. Because if they get too much, they'll go for fourth down.
They fake the handoff to Arthur. Rising under pressure, scrambling to his right. Boy, he's got a lot of space. Throws it to the near side. It is caught at the 40, and he's brought down at the Tiger 36-yard line.
They'll go for this.
He's still 8 yards short, but we'll see.
They'll go for it. It's fourth down now.
Yep, 39-yard line. The punt's not going to do you a ton of good here, especially the way your defense has been playing. That gives you some extra confidence to go for it here.
Yeah, fourth and 8, and they're actually tempoing it. They're not letting us have anything.
Trips left, two receivers right.
They're empty. We got to watch for the little shallow route now.
Union is 0 for 2 on fourth downs in this game. We got a timeout on the field.
We got to watch for the shallow routes now. With Tempest. To me, I would focus on Tempest. He's the key on when you're in these shallow conversions, these short conversions.
So the tough part is he is fast enough, Spav. You got to, depending on what you want to play, you got to have somebody who can stick with him in man coverage. So what are you drawing up here on the defensive side to try to guard against that drag route?
Well, it's tough on what they're going to do. When they're in empty, are you going to zone it? Are you going to try to put quick pressure on it? I mean, there's different ways you can handle empty, and it's really what they see. They've seen more film than I have. So, basically what you got to do is either spy someone in the middle for them for the drag, and that's kind of what they did to us last time when they blitzed one and one was in the hole, and he finds crossers is what he does. Someone's got to look for the crossers, but someone, or man them up or do something. You've got to really be with them at all times. It's hard to man them up because you get caught in the traffic, when you go through the middle. So Tempest is going to be in the boundary now, so you're going to have the potential of the field shallow. So we got to be careful with that.
Tempest now goes in motion right to left. Trips left side, fourth down and 8. Rising, looking left. Stepping up, throws it deep over the left side. It's incomplete.
Nice play. Nice coverage.
That was covered pretty well all around.
We had good collapse of the pocket with our D-line. I felt like they did a good job. But what we got to be careful of is losing our lane and allowing that quarterback. That quarterback stepped up in there and threw it, but he had a lot of running lane too.
Can the Tiger offense get going? So far tonight, 14 yards on 17 plays. We've got 8:18 to play here in the second quarter. Nate Jones, the tailback to start this drive. Owen Jones takes the snap, throwing it deep over the left side, looking for Matthews. It is caught at the Union 20 and drugged down inside the 15. The Tigers take a deep shot, and they finally hit one.
We had max protection in there. We had two tight ends in there.
First down of the game for Broken Arrow comes at the 8:09 mark of this second quarter. Empty backfield. Owen Jones looking right, now swallowed up in the backfield. He pump faked right, wanted to throw it back over the middle, but it wasn't there, and the pressure got to him.
Yeah, you got to make quicker decisions than that. That was a linebacker coming. When you're in empty, you got to make decisions quick or get rid of it.
Caleb Barnett back in the game. He's in the slot right side. Flag and a false start on the Tiger offensive line. That'll make it 2nd and 21. Now the Tigers are way behind the chains.
Mm-hmm. You know, you get in the red zone that deep. You got to score touchdowns now.
The Tigers were pretty solid at that last week.
That's
Jones trying the right side, bounced off of one tackle, but wrapped up by the second defender.
See, the safety came really heavy on that downhill. He played downhill and forced us to bounce out to a leverage player. So they're really attacking heavy with those safeties, and we're going to have to find a way to attack that.
Sticks say 4th down. I've got this as 3rd down. 4th down on the scoreboard as well. This is 3rd down, I think. The officials are getting together to talk this over. Yep, they're going to change it to 3rd. Broken Arrow will be looking to at least get some chunk of yardage back here. You don't have to pick up the 1st down on this play.
I know.
But you got to get something. Safety's crashing already. Now they'll go to the pistol. This is Cooper Bates at quarterback. Looking right, dumps it over the middle. It's deflected. Nearly caught on the second attempt. Was it caught on the second attempt? It was not. Incomplete. It brings up 4th and 21.
Well, they put a lot of quick pressure up with the linebacker up the middle. We didn't pick it up. It's clean. So we've got to be.
Clean pressure up the middle makes it awfully hard to successfully throw the football.
Well, yeah. I mean, he didn't have a plant foot. He can't throw the football. He's throwing it on his back foot.
Owen Jones back in the game. Do you just kind of throw this one up and see if the wide receiver can make a play, or maybe you get a flag? And that's the main play that's worked so far is a deep ball at the left side. Jones looking immediately under pressure, and he's sacked back at the 34-yard line. The Tigers have had one big play, and other than that, they've gone backwards.
Yeah, they're getting their linebackers are so active in the middle
and aggressive as all get out. And the play calling's been aggressive. I mean, it seems like the game plan for Union defensively has been do not give the Broken Arrow quarterbacks any time whatsoever.
Well, they're thinking, in my opinion, is we're not going to throw the ball successfully. We're going to run the ball, and we're going to bring safeties, everything. We're going to have like 2 more than you do in the box.
20-0 Union, 6:09 to play in the first half. 34-yard line, the Redhawks start with it. Handoff left side. McKinney tripped up. Falls forward for about 5 out to the 39.
Yeah, they're coming
Franklin made the
downhill
stop.
hard. They're coming downhill hard. All right, come on now. Okay, we're zoning up now. Let's go.
That looked a little goofy, but the pass is nearly intercepted.
Boy, he read that well.
Boy, that might have been going to the – it would have gone to the house if he was able to keep that in his hands. Donovan Hardaway very nearly had a pick six. That would have gotten a lot of momentum going in the right direction.
Now, see, there's an example of when you're in zone, the ball's the issue. He saw that right off the bat.
Brings up 3rd down and 5. Trips right to the wide side. 2 receivers left. Another empty set for Shaker Rising. Quick pass over the left side, caught. Easy first down, and that'll end up being a gain of about 16 or 17 down to the Tiger 44.
With a hitch in the boundary.
Yep.
You know, that's tough play. You know, that's why when I was a coach, I used to play a lot of halves in the boundary because I didn't want to give up that little those little plays.
It was a 7-yard hitch on 3rd and 5. And so
because it's a common. It's an easy throw. And
brings up 1st down and 10 Union from the Broken Arrow 44. Rising fakes the handoff, rolling to his right.
Good
got a
coverage.
lot of time.
Good coverage.
Looking back to his
Come on,
right.
keep
Now
him
going to tuck it and
contained.
run.
Good job.
He's brought down for a very minimal gain. They'll give him a yard down to the 43. Boy, that's a tough play to cover for that length of time. That's really good coverage.
Boots
downfield.
are hard to cover, period. And we did a fabulous job on that.
And that's what, this has been a tough game so far, but you're seeing some incremental improvement on a drive-to-drive basis from this defense. The problem is they're not getting a whole lot of help.
Right.
Second down and 9 for Union. Tied into either side. That looked like it might have been a busted play. Rising running to his left. He's bottled up, and he's cut down for no gain at the 43-yard line. I think he wanted to hand that off.
I think he did too. I think there's a little, mix-up there, a little timing.
Franklin came up and made the stop.
Well, I'm sitting there communicating with one of our old coaches here, the old Gates, the crazy Gate family. They know he knows football, that's for sure.
Under 4 to play here in the second quarter. Another third down opportunity for this Tiger defense. Union is 4 for 7 on third downs in this game. They've gone for fourth down on the 3 that they've missed to this point. Here's a snap. Hand off. McKinney left side. He's brought down. Gain of just a couple down to around the 41-yard line. Ooh. Belmar can clear down at the 40-yard line. That was like a secondary lead there off of first getting to second.
Yeah.
Then brings up fourth down and about 6.
All right, now we need to stop this.
Starting to wonder if Union has a punter, Spav. They've not converted third downs. They've gone for it on all 4.
We saw the field goal guy. He's not real good. The kickoffs, they can't kick him in the end zone.
Ooh, interesting. A little sugar huddle here.
Yeah.
Rising.
Okay, 2 wide receivers out.
2 right, 1 left. Tight end motions from right to left. That's
boundary.
Wood. Now motion to the boundary from the tailback McKinney. A whistle and a timeout from the Union sideline.
Yeah. Seemed like something was up there.
There was a lot of eye candy going on that play. They started in with 1 back, motioned the tight end, then they motioned the back out of the backfield.
Well, they started with that short huddle.
Yeah.
And then you weren't sure what was going in there. I mean, for us, it's hard for us to know the personnel until they line up and we see it. But defensively, they got to see that stuff before they line up, and so it's pretty difficult because what Union does is they're coming in and out of no tight ends, 1 tight end, 2 tight ends, and what you have to do is you have to see that substitution coming in. Now, we're not looking for it, but as a coach, all the coaches upstairs, they got to see that because they need to know what personnel group is in the game. That tells you what you got to call.
Tiger defense is out on the field. Fourth and 6 coming up for the Redhawks. Now they'll just line up and empty. Trips right.
So you need to find Tempest. Find Tempest.
He's in the slot right side. He's the receiver on the line of scrimmage. 4th and 6. Rising looking left. Dumps it over the middle. It's caught. First down yardage to the 30. Spins off a man inside the 25. Hit hard and the ball comes loose inside the 20-yard line. It's still loose on the floor. Who got on it? Tigers are pointing their way. It's Broken Arrow football.
Oh, baby. That's that shallow route from the boundary.
The execution was there, but the ball came loose, and Austin Newell came up with the recovery. Broken Arrow now with 2:43 in the second quarter has a chance to go down and score for the first time. And Spav, suddenly you find yourself in a situation where you've avoided a couple of red zone opportunities for Union, and a score here, you could go into halftime down by 2 scores.
I know, exactly.
As tough as this first half has been.
You remember last year it was a battle, and we came from behind.
There's a cut inside of a defender, moving forward for about 4 yards. That might have been the best run play of the game for the Tigers to this point.
See, I think last year we were down by like 3 touchdowns, I think, and came back and made it a ball game.
That was Kyrie Harris on his first carry of the game. There's the snap. Harris again. Tiptoeing through the line of scrimmage, spins off a man.
Good job.
Carrying a tackler out to the 25.
Going to make it 3rd and 2.
This is maybe the shortest third down opportunity for the Tigers all game. See if I can do a quick check here. They had a 3rd and 2 on their very first drive. Since then, they've never been that close on third down. From the 25-yard line, clock down under 2 minutes. Cooper Bates in the game at quarterback. He's a fairly talented runner. Could be an option read right here between him and Harris. Here's a snap. Fake handoff. Bates, left side, steps inside of a tackler. He's got the first down across the 30. That's the first down via the rush of the game for the Tigers.
Yes.
1st and 10 from their own 32, 90 seconds to play. Now you got to go a little quicker.
Well, we have both tight ends. We got Siebert in there.
Harris breaks through the initial line of scrimmage and is bottled up. Boy, if he could have gotten around that defender, he had a lot of green room in front of him, but it's another gain of 5. And this is a Tiger squad that coming into this drive was averaging less than a half yard per carry, and they've had some actual decent rushes on this one. That's another 5-yard gain. Second and 5 with a minute to play in the half. Bates under pressure, steps to his right. Now he's hit hard and brought down back at the 36. Loss of 1 brings up 3rd down and 6. The Tigers, not sure if Broken Arrow has any timeouts left. There they take a timeout. Yeah, Broken Arrow had 1 left. They'll go ahead and take it here.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. There's an injured player for Union, so the Tigers get an unintentional timeout. 40 seconds to play. And you can be fairly confident at this point if you're Broken Arrow throwing the ball, even if it is incomplete and stops the clock, because by the time you throw it, then punt it away, you're only going to have to defend for maybe 25 seconds, which is I mean, this is a powerful Union offense, but in theory, you should be able to be confident that you can get a stop in 25 seconds.
Exactly.
So that should take a little bit of the apprehension out of the play here for Broken Arrow, trying to go down and potentially score here. I tell you what, this was a game in which pretty early on nothing was going the Tigers' way, and it would have been, I don't want to say it would have been easy, but the possibility existed to fold up the tents and call it a night, essentially, and these guys have not done that.
Because we didn't have the field position. I mean,
didn't have anything for a while.
I know. It was crazy half.
Broken Arrow is still being outgained by nearly 200 yards. Yet they have a chance to score and get it within 2 possessions going into the halftime locker room.
Their running backs are coming down hard, but defending that shallow route has been really tough on us right now.
Getting a look at the Union sideline here, and in particular a look at big number 52, Demarion Thomas. And that's a guy that the Tigers are having to move out from the middle of the line. And that is not an easy thing to do. Demarion Thomas, 6'4", 310. That'll give you a little bit of a taste of why the running game has been kind of tough sledding for Broken Arrow. When you're trying to move a body that size, that's not easy to do.
Exactly. So Union is still, they're playing press. They're playing man outside, and they may get some help with the safety, but they're keying down. Well, they're rotating their coverage.
Jones throws it far side, looking for Barnett. The timing was off. It's incomplete. That brings up 4th down and 6. I got to think with just 33 seconds left in the half, you got to go ahead and punt this away.
Yeah,
you can't risk turning it over in your own half with this much, this little time remaining on the clock.
But you got to be careful in this punt, just because you don't.
One's already gone awry.
That Tempest can return the ball.
Ideally, you would not let Grayson Tempest catch this punt.
No.
You can find a way to angle one over towards the far sideline here. That'd be good. Now, Union's trying to obviously prevent that, so they're going to come with their punt block from that field side.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have too many guys on the field. There's a bunch of guys out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, that's only 11. The punt's away. Spiraling kick right at Tempest.
They're holding them up is what they did.
Tempest looking for space. Around the left side to the 40. And he's tripped up at about the 43-yard line. A nice play, I think, was that by Franklin?
I think so.
Looks like there might have been Wilhite on the stop. Nice job by Joshua Wilhite on the kick coverage team there.
Well, what they were doing, they were showing block, but what they did is what they refer to as Jesse James. you're just holding them up. You're holding them up so you can get a return. So that's how they return nowadays. A lot of them is just hold them up.
Is that just because it's
easier
technically than running with a gunner down the field?
You remember like running a wall?
Yeah.
You remember we used to do those walls. Those were nice, but
McKinney breaks through over the left side and gets out of bounds after a gain of about 18 yards. It only took 8 seconds off the clock.
Mm-hmm.
1st and 10 from the Broken Arrow 41 now for Union. I tell you what, they hit the hole and it is full steam ahead for these Union running backs.
Well,
they're running angry is what they're doing. It's impressive.
Well, our linebackers aren't playing downhill like they need to.
Trips right. Shaker Rising 15 for 21, only for 139 yards though. Takes the snap, rolling to his right, pump fakes a short throw, wanted to throw it a little deeper, it's caught at the 35 and knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line is the receiver. We got a flag down. That was Gino Boyd on the catch. Flag's on the far sideline. Looks like it's going to be against Union.
Well, they had 2 players on one, and they were just excessive blocking.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
I think he said illegal formation. That'll back Union up to the Broken Arrow 46 with only 5 seconds on the second quarter clock. We've got a whistle and another stoppage.
Broken Arrow.
Broken Arrow took a timeout here to talk things over defensively.
Last time out.
Yeah, make sure that everybody's on the same page. The last thing you need to hear is a busted coverage.
Yeah.
So.
Don't give up a big play. Keep everything underneath, chase it down. Be good tacklers.
Union scored 14 points in the first quarter. Just 6 here in the second quarter, and those 6 came early.
Yes.
So it's been about 10 minutes since anybody's scored.
Right.
And as we talked about a little bit ago, you're seeing some drive-by-drive improvement from this Broken Arrow defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of improvement with them. They just seem to be around. A lot of it's just missed tackles. But a lot of, and what they're doing a lot of times, but we've got to not allow them to run downhill so fast. They're running downhill, and there's no one meeting him there. So what's happened is your linemen are coming up the field a little bit, and there's no linebackers there, so there's a big space between there, and it creates running lanes.
Speaking of running lanes, there's a few on this play. Tigers in prevent defense. They bring a little bit of a blitz, and the pass is deflected down with 1 second left on the clock. Mm-hmm. We needed that ball to float just a little bit longer.
I know.
Or into a Tiger, into the hands
Where's
of a Tiger
the home field
defender.
advantage?
Right.
Huh? My gosh.
Yeah, 2nd down and 15 here from the Tiger 45, but that first down marker isn't really the issue at this point. It's the end zone line.
Well, you saw what they're doing. They're in empty, and they're clearing everybody up, and they had one shallow underneath. And they're going to give it to him and let him run.
Point here is to get all the hats to the ball. There's McKinney straight up the middle, a big gain across the 35 inside the 30 and dumped down at the Tiger 29.
There's your halftime.
That will send it to the halftime break. Union leading 20-0 after 24 minutes of football. We'll take a break. No, we won't. We'll keep it right here. Madison Dildine is down on the sideline with Coach Blankenship. Madison?
Coach, going into the second half down, what is Union doing well that you want to focus on in this next half?
We got to quit playing tentative on offense. Hadn't connected on anything, haven't gotten in a rhythm. Really pleased with our defense. We keep putting them in a bad spot, but they're battling tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
Well, he made a lot of sense. What we were basically talking about is, offensively, we're just out of sync, it just seems like. And, he put it as playing tentative. And that's a good way of putting it. It's just things just don't seem normal for us on offense. So
and it's reflected in the field position battle. You gave up 20 points in the first half, but Union's average starting field position was midfield.
See, so that's difficult. And they're going to go, but see, they're going to go for fourth downs down there. When you have good field position, that's fourth down territory for them.
And you know what, Spav? So Union's 4 for 8 on third downs. All 4 of those third downs that they missed, they've gone for it. They're 0 for 4 on fourth down. This fourth down defense has been incredible tonight. Because those have not been fourth and long exclusively.
I know.
There's been fourth and short on a few. So
exactly. Well, like when they were down on the 19, there were some things that we came up with good series to stop them. We did a good job.
20-0 the halftime score. Spav and I are going to take a break. You're tuned into Broken Arrow football on
Hall of
ArrowVision.
Fame night.
Right now, get $200 from TTCU Federal Credit Union when you open a new checking account with direct deposit. What would you buy with $200?
Cars, race cars, my own apartment, 100 coloring books, and a puppy.
Or maybe some groceries and a tank of gas. $200 for whatever works for you from TTCU, because life is better in balance.
Recently, you've had to put your life on hold, and we're with you in this. At Ascension St. John, we're now open for appointments, and we are fully prepared for your safety in our care. As we open our doors again, our doctors, nurses, and care teams will continue to wear personal protective equipment. We've taken even more steps to clean and stringently disinfect all areas. We will maintain distancing in our waiting rooms, and will continue to limit visitors. And we will still screen all staff to protect their health and yours. Our emergency rooms are here 24/7. Please do not delay care. We're still delivering babies and performing surgeries. And we're open for your appointments, from specialists and surgical care to routine care and health screenings. Ask us about virtual visits. Ascension St. John continues to care for you, as we have been for almost a century. Thank you for trusting us.
If you and your family have been waiting for the perfect time to jump into your dream home, it's here. We make buying a new home as easy as it is exciting with quick credit approvals and great rates. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first. There is nothing like teaching about the rewards in life, like catching that first big fish. Now they can learn about other rewards by opening up my first savings account just for them. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Of more than 20,000 music programs in the United States, members of an elite few earn the right to wear a Bands of America champion medallion. Today we celebrate a legacy that spans nearly 100 years. All those who've worn the uniform are part of a tradition, distinction, and excellence that few will never achieve. One line, one mission, one goal. The pride of Broken Arrow, where each is champion for regardless of the results. The journey is the victory.
Continuing a tradition that spans 3/4 of a century, the pride of Broken Arrow combines music education with performance excellence in spreading the reputation of the Broken Arrow Pride from coast to coast. The Pride of Broken Arrow is a 28-time overall and 19-time defending OBA state champion. The Broken Arrow Band program has received the Oklahoma Secondary Schools Activities Association Sweepstakes Award over 100 times. The Pride is the only three-time winner of the prestigious Sutter Shield Award, and the Pride of Broken Arrow is the 2006, 2011, 2015, and 2021 Bands of America Grand National Champions. The directors for the Pride are Darren Davis, Kelly Pence, Adam Winkin, Kyle Smith, Trey Lack, Greg Mangus, Chase Davison, and Wes Cartwright. Pride is supported by Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Chuck Perry, and Principal of Broken Arrow High School, Ms. Crystal Barber. Drum majors for the Pride are Nathan Airy, Kate Cox, Lucas Getz, Chase Johnson, and Liam McCants. Ladies and gentlemen, Broken Arrow Public Schools proudly presents the one, the only, the grandest band in all the land, the incomparable Pride of Broken Arrow. Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Pride of Broken Arrow. The Pride sponsors for this week are Oklahoma Joe's and Chick-fil-A.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to midfield as Broken Arrow Athletics is honored to present to you your 2022 Hall of Fame inductees. Our first inductee is Ruthie Miller. Ruthie graduated in 1989 and was a 4-year varsity starter who played on the 86, 87, and 89 Tigers Girls State Championship soccer teams. She was named All-Conference 4 times, as well as being named All-Metro and All-Region during her college career at the University of Arkansas. Miller recorded 38 goals, registered 16 assists, and totaled 92 points. She was selected as an NCAA All-South Region 3rd Team honoree in 1991. Miller is a 5-time Olympic development player, as a 1989 U.S. Olympic Festival silver medalist, and is a member of the University of Arkansas Athletic Hall of Honor. Ruthie is joined on the field tonight by her husband, Steve Taft. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for 2022 Hall of Fame inductee, Ruthie Miller. Our next inductee is Taylor Dobson. Taylor graduated in 2016, placing second in the Class 6A State Girls Golf Championships as a senior with rounds of 75-72 for a total of 147. She was named the Tulsa World All-Metro Golfer of the Year that season, winning 5 tournaments, including the East Regional title with a round of 72. She also was named the 2015 Wendy's High School Heisman Female Award winner for Broken Arrow High School. Dobson was a 4-year letter winner at the University of Tulsa. She finished her Golden Hurricane career with a 76.2 stroke average in 95 rounds of golf. Taylor is joined on the field this evening by her mother, Laura Shannon, grandmother, Sharon Dobson, and boyfriend, Ryan Otwell. Ladies and gentlemen, 2022 Hall of Fame inductee, Taylor Dobson. Your next inductee is Jackson Williams. Jackson graduated in 2004 and is a current Broken Arrow baseball assistant coach. He built upon his Tiger baseball years by playing 3 seasons at the University of Oklahoma and spending 11 years in professional baseball. As a teenager, Williams played in the 2003 and 2004 Junior Sunbelt Series and in the 2003 Area Code Games. As a 3-year starter with the Sooners, he was twice named All Big 12 second team. He was the 43rd overall selection in the 2007 Major League Baseball draft by the San Francisco Giants. He was a 4-time San Francisco Giants organizational Gold Glove winner, given to the top defensive catcher in the minor league system. Williams played parts of 2 Major League seasons in 2014 with the Colorado Rockies and in 2015 with the San Francisco Giants. Jackson is joined on the field tonight with his wife Tara, children Ryder, Chandler, and Olivia, and his parents David and Cindy. Ladies and gentlemen, 2022 Hall of Fame inductee, Jackson Williams. Your next Hall of Fame inductee is Alexis Golden. Alexis graduated in 2016 and is a current assistant coach for the Lady Tigers basketball team. Golden was a 4-year letter winner at Broken Arrow and was part of teams that went 92-21 over 4 seasons and reached the state tournament all 4 years. Golden helped lead her team to 2 state championships as a sophomore and junior. She scored a career-high 6 3-pointers in a single game as a senior and connected on 83 pointers her senior season. Golden was named Metro Player of the Year, both as a junior and senior, and Tulsa World First Team All-State honors her senior season. She received a scholarship to the University of Tulsa, where she was a 4-year letter winner and started 88 of 111 games. Finished her career ranked 4th in 3-point field goals made, 165, and 7th in assists, 321, on Tulsa's all-time career list. Alexis is joined on the field by her parents Rodney and Diana Golden, brother Rodney Golden Jr., grandfather Robert Golden, best friend and teammate Darian Jackson, cousin Josh Peoples, Aunt Donna Gladney, former coach of Broken Arrow Mike Hughes, and many other friends. Ladies and gentlemen, 2022 Hall of Fame inductee, Alexis Golden. Your next inductee is Brianna Barker. Brianna graduated in 2015, lettering all 4 years in swimming at Broken Arrow. Barker received All-American honors as a sophomore, junior, and senior. Earned Most Valuable Player accolades in her last 2 seasons. Voted Athlete of the Week by Tulsa World in February of 2015. Brianna claimed her 4 consecutive 100-yard freestyle state titles at the Oklahoma Swimming State Championships. Took first place at state in the 50-yard freestyle her last 3 seasons. Holds the Broken Arrow High School record in the 50, 100, 200, and 500-yard freestyle, and the 100-yard breaststroke. took second place in the 100-yard freestyle, the 2015 Speedo Championship Series. Competed at the 2014 Junior Nationals in the 50 and 100-meter freestyle. Barker was at the top recruit of the Oklahoma and received a scholarship to the University of Kansas. Brianna is joined on the field today by her boyfriend Malik Davis, mother and father Christopher and June Barker, her daughter Atia Barker and Sierra Barker, and brother Christopher, who is on the cameras in the stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2022 inductee, Brianna Barker. Your final inductee of the evening is Rusty Stecker. Stecker compiled 252 wins in his 14 seasons as head coach of the Tigers. His basketball teams qualified for the state tournament 7 times, and he has a career playoff coaching record of 30-17. Stecker's 2001 team became Broken Arrow's first and only top 100 nationally ranked team, reaching number 52. He is a 4-time Oklahoma Coaches Association Region 7 Coach of the Year and a 3-time Frontier Valley Conference Coach of the Year, as well as a 3-time coach for the Jim Thorpe All-Star Games, twice named Tulsa World Metro Coach of the Year, Oklahoma Basketball Coaches Association District 7 Coach of the Year, and he was selected the coach in 2005 All-State Games. Rusty is joined on the field this evening with his wife, Amy Stecker, his daughter, Zoe Stecker, and brothers Jim and Rob Stecker. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for Rusty Stecker, 2022 Hall of Fame inductee. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for your Broken Arrow Athletic 2022 Hall of Fame class.
Welcome back to Tiger Memorial Stadium here in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Adam Hildebrand alongside Steve Spavital, Madison Dildine down on the sidelines for us. 20-0, the halftime score. We got 12 minutes back on the clock to start the third quarter, Spav. Now the good news is the Tigers got better over the course of that second quarter, and they deferred when they won the coin toss. So they get the ball to start the second half here. You got to find a way to establish something offensively. How do you start to do that after a rough first half of offense?
Well, it's tough. I mean, I don't think we're doing anything just super wrong. It just seems like we were out of sync offensively, which is quite unusual because of what we saw last week. Now, I a good prediction here now is that our offense is going to come out and have a good half. Now, can our defense continue to play to get better? That's going to be the key.
What do you think improved the most on the defensive side of the ball from that first quarter when Union was really doing pretty much everything to that second quarter where after that early second quarter score, the defense really stood up and started to get some stops?
They did, and a lot of it is a first down efficiency.
Okay.
We prevented them from having big plays on first down and stuff. So, and we hadn't given up any big plays really. I mean, we're allowing some things underneath and stuff, but we're changing what we're doing, mixing and matching zone and man, and doing some things really well right now.
And that's a big improvement from last week in terms of not giving up those big plays.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a high, short kickoff, caught at the 28-yard line. A chance for a decent starting field position here as the pile is pushed forward, clear out to the 40-yard line, and it's a good spot to start.
I know. Now, see, they don't have a kickoff field goal guy. And that's kind of unusual for Union. They've always had somebody. So this allows us, a team like this, to have good field position right now.
The best back of the first half for Broken Arrow was Kyrie Harris, 4 carries for 10 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Check that. In fact, Caden Jones carried the ball 3 times for 11 yards.
Right.
There's a snap, fake handoff. Bootleg right. There's a tuck and about a 5-yard gain.
Nice job. Good decision. We had running a bootleg into boundary, which was kind of interesting. A good play. They had it covered, but they didn't have the quarterback covered.
You mentioned earlier that bootleg is really difficult to cover. Why is that?
Well, it's just because you're so focused on the run, and then all of a sudden the whole line is showing the run going one way, and you're going to play downhill with your linebackers, and all of a sudden, boom, you pull it and go out. It's extremely difficult.
Looking for the tight end screen. One broken tackle. That's close to a first down at midfield. I think they're going to give it to him.
Nice play.
There was a Union defender there that had a chance to blow that up, Spav, and he missed.
Yes.
Wilhite was able to bounce off.
2 really good plays here. What we're doing. We're mixing things up. The formations are a little changing. Go from bootleg to screen. We're mixing some things up. Those are dramatic changes.
Still no high safety. Handoff right side, Nate Jones looking for the cutback lane. He spins forward. Oh, got up off the defender and started to take off. But they'll mark him down. A gain of about 2 into Union territory at the 48-yard line. I like the vision there on the cutback. He just couldn't quite squeak through the gap.
But the wide zone is our bread and butter, and we haven't done it well this game at all.
No.
It's our bread and butter. See, they've taken away, they just take our best plays, and they're going to not allow us to run them.
2nd down and 8. Jones looking left, throwing left. Had a man open but missed him. That might have been deflected near the line of scrimmage, too. He had pressure in his face again.
You know, I think he saw the pressure and it just, he panicked a little bit. But that's just being young. He's going to be a great quarterback. Boy, he's going to be great. We've seen some great things from him right now. But he needs to understand the pressure there. He needs to kind of move in the pocket a little bit and then make a good throw from there.
3rd down and 8. Shotgun set. Both tight ends will move right to left. Essentially quads on the left side. We've seen this several times now today. Jones looking left, throwing left. Caught by Matthews, spinning forward. He's going to be about a yard short of the first down.
Right.
4th down and 1. You're
He'll
down
go
by
for it.
20. You go for it, you think?
Oh, yeah. This is 4 down territory here.
In Union
last
territory.
time we went to that 4th down here in a situation like this, if you remember, we ran the ball and they stuffed it. So we got to be.
The two teams are combined 0 for 7 on 4th down conversions in this game.
Really?
Yeah. Broken Arrow 0 for 3, Union
Wow.
0 for 4. Handoff, left side.
Nice
that
job.
should be
Got
enough
it.
for the first down. Inside the 40, down to about the 38-yard line. Oh, there's a late flag that comes in.
The difference of that play right there is that our running back, boy, he stuck it hard in there.
That's one of the more aggressive runs we've seen from Broken Arrow. Who's this extracurricular activity going to get called on here?
With Sean Mayberry on the tackle, there's a flag on the field.
Personal foul, face mask.
Oh,
Defense.
it wasn't
Good.
extracurricular. It was just a face mask.
First down.
Nice.
That'll get the chains moving a second time, so to speak. Clear down to the Union 23-yard line.
Well, this has been our most effective drive of the game so far. I know we had it one time in there pretty deep.
Big chance here for Broken Arrow. Down 3 scores.
Boy, there's a lot of communication problem on that one.
There was. Was that
Yeah.
intended to be a timed snap to the jet sweep guy?
I think so.
Still first down.
In any case, it's a false start.
Yeah.
Makes it 1st and 15. Now Broken Arrow will go to the pistol. This has unfortunately been a fairly common theme tonight. Get a couple of good plays and then go get behind the chains.
Oh, there you go.
Dump pass to Harris. He's got room across the 20. Lowers his shoulder. Runs through a man out of bounds at around the 15-yard line. That's a gain of a dozen on the play.
Well, see, the timing is a little bit better, but if you have to throw the ball to where he catches it on the run instead of catching it behind his back shoulder or anything like that.
And ideally on the run downhill. Here's another handoff. Harris right side, pushing towards the first down marker. I think
Nice.
he's going to be just a hair short.
Yeah, running that zone play there. Nice. I love that.
Brings up 3rd down and short. About a yard. Hand off to Harris. Cuts it right
Nice
side.
cut.
Now back up the middle.
He may have got it, though.
Yeah, it's going to be really close. Right around the 13-yard line. Official signaling for 4th down. It'll be 4th and inches.
The one thing about Union is they're good tacklers. And that's a key to a good defense. And that's what you got to do is be good tacklers.
And it helps when you have the size they have, too.
See, they're bringing 3 down linemen in there pretty tight there, so they're more of a double eagle type situation, so they're not going to let them.
Under center, quarterback sneak. There's not a lot of space there. I'm not sure he got it. They're marking him back to the 14-yard line.
Yeah, that was it. Boy, you could see in those big linemen in there and, in the gap, they're like in a double eagle type situation. They were just not going to let the guard center block anybody.
Well, when you got big Demarion Thomas at 6'4", 310 right over the center like that, it's awfully hard to move him back.
Well, you can't create any double teams.
Yeah.
There's no double team there. And if you're going to try to run a quarterback sneak, there's no double team. You got a linebacker over top that he's going to push the pile.
That makes it 1st and 10 Union from its own 14-yard line. 20-0 Redhawks. High formation. Handoff right side, big hole. Across the 20-yard line, stepping through a defender. Another broken tackle. McKinney out to the 30, or rather the 29. A gain of about 15 on the play. Union moves the chains and gets out of its own red zone.
Let's see, it's interesting. It's kind of like a split zone. What you saw there is the fullback went one way and the tailback ends up going the other way. That was a split zone, and boy, everything we had was geared going with the fullback.
From the 29, 1st and 10. I formation again. Split zone again. Handoff left side. That one was more bottled up. Still a gain of about 4 out to around the 33-yard line. So
it's a little different than what they've been doing. See, they haven't been running the split zone. They've been running to it. Running a bit like a power.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The split zone seems challenging because those linebackers are usually reading that lead blocker. So if he goes right and then the running back goes left, it just causes that little bit of extra hesitation.
Absolutely. And you get caught up in the zone blocking.
2nd down and 6. Handoff out of the shotgun this time. Not a lot of room. A couple more yards out past the 35. Give them the 36. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3. The helmet popped off of McKinney on the play, so he'll have to come out. So you got a quarterback that transferred in from Jinx playing for the Redhawks. You got a running back that transferred in from Booker T, and both are awfully talented.
Yeah.
Trips right. That's a bunch formation on the right side of the offensive line. I think there's a tight end left as well.
This is where you can run that toss sweep. No, they're going to run that zone again.
Swallowed
nice
up, straight back up the middle for a loss.
Yeah. Now they're going to have to punt this.
I think that was Demarius Reynolds. Came through to make the stop. I mean, that was a one-man wrecking crew right up the middle there to make the stop. Got off a block and got to the ball carrier.
They had the heavy formation there, and what I saw in pregame, they're running toss sweep with it. And then what they ran earlier is they ran that lead play, that zone in it and popped it. But that time they were running an inside zone.
Punt team on the field for the first time today for Union. It is away and out of bounds. It landed around the 35, so that should be up at least past the 40. We'll see where they end up marking it. They mark it right at the 40-yard line, so the Tigers will start from their own 40 for the second time.
That was crazy the way they marked that, because you know how the ref has the hand up and walks up the field. Well, the referee left.
The Red Hat's out. Not sure if we're going to get a stoppage or not. Looks like not. All right. We'll keep rolling on. Pistol set. Two tight ends move right to left.
Quads. That's that quads.
Running the stretch.
Side.
Jones.
That's that safety coming down. We got it.
And Jones cut inside of him. Got a few. That's a 4-yard gain after the 44. I mean, Broken Arrow's not breaking any big runs, Spab, but they are running it better than they did early.
Oh, yeah, they're running it well. It's just their safeties are coming up really fast and heavy. We've got to have a plan for that.
Owen Jones, the quarterback. Hands it off.
Cut it back. Good job.
Straight up the middle, about a yard out to the 45. At some point, as Broken Arrow continues to run the ball a little bit better and those safeties get more and more aggressive, I got to think there's going to be a chance for a play-action deep ball in there.
Yeah. Well, that middle linebacker for them, what's his name, Ashlock, he does a good job. He plays downhill pretty hard, and it's been really difficult for us. Run a lot of zone schemes. We have to get off, and it just becomes one-on-one block.
He's got good size, too. 6 foot, 220. Yeah. He can move. Quads right now with the two tight ends in motion. Jones looking to throw.
Nice.
Wants the wheel route at the far side. Barnett is there, and he makes the catch at the 20, inside the 10, and brought down inside the 5-yard line, way down at the Union 1.
God, what a nice play. What a great ball. On stride.
Yeah, which it's hard to do with a guy with that kind of speed.
I know. That was on stride. I mean, golly, that was a great throw.
Well protected up front.
Yes.
That's the best, maybe the best play we've seen them run.
See, it was a little play-action type concept.
Now you got to punch it in from the 1.
Now we got to get away from those two inside guys.
Jones
find the bubble.
Hands it to Jones. Straight up the middle, pushing towards the goal line. Did he get in? Yes, he did. No, he did not. Excuse me.
No,
it was just one arm in the air on the far side, not two. He's just maybe a foot short.
It's tough. You got to get away from those two big guys. Those linebackers play downhill fast now.
Caden Jones out, Nate Jones in at tailback. Pistol formation. One tight end to either side. Hand off Nate Jones straight at the middle. Lowers his shoulder, and he is.
Boy, they're
Do we
saying
have a
he
whistle
lost
and a
a
stoppage? No.
Where's that ref at?
Encroachment. Defense.
We had encroachment on Union.
To the goal.
Oh.
Second down.
You get half the distance to the goal, which is maybe 3 inches in this
Yeah,
case. That's unfortunate because I think he was in.
He looked like he was in, yes. Mm-hmm. Come on now, they're stacked in the middle with those 2 heavies, 3 heavies in there right now.
The nose of the ball is darn near on the goal line. And there's a whistle. Offsides again. Okay.
Now they're on the 1.5 inch yard
See,
line.
here's the problem with that is you're not – this is not really a penalty for Union. They're just going to keep doing it and keep pushing the envelope until eventually they let them play the down. But, like, that might move the ball another inch.
Yeah, they're on the 1.5 inch.
Shotgun set. Nate Jones in the backfield. Watch out for the pressure from the weak side there. Handoff up the middle, and he's in.
Got it. See,
Finally able to punch it in.
I thought they were going to have the quarterback run it.
A light show going off here at Tiger Memorial Stadium. Broken Arrow on the board for the first time today. 3:43 to play in the third quarter.
Nice. That was nice.
5 plays, 60 yards, 2 minutes, 25 seconds.
That pass was unbelievable. I mean, he was wide open.
I think that was the best all-around offensive play of the game.
Yeah.
The blocking was there up front. The protection was good.
Mm-hmm.
You had the fake, a ball that was absolutely on the money, and then a catch in stride.
Mm-hmm.
PAT is good. Broken Arrow's back within a baker's dozen here with 3:43 to play in the second.
Yeah.
Well, at the very least, that is a breath of fresh air. Let's go down to the south end zone. We got a presentation coming our way from down there.
Tiger fans, please turn your attention to the South End Zone for a special presentation. In partnership with Quick Trip, this brand new award honors students in grades pre-K through 12 who have been nominated by their principal for showing the 5 Tiger traits, which include tenacity, integrity, gratitude, expectations, and respect. We are proud to have our Quick Trip Game Changer students here with us tonight. They were recognized for displaying tenacity. Joining them on the field with Quick Trip is Troy Krause and Alexa Hall, along with many Broken Arrow Public Schools principals. Congratulations to our Quick Trip Game Changers for excelling in the classroom and in the community.
20-7, the new score. 3:43 to play here in the third quarter. The defense has been getting better and better, Spav.
Yes.
You've gotten a stop already in this half.
Mm-hmm.
Union has actually now not scored in about 18 minutes of football. Let's take a look here
well,
at
it's
the,
early
on the
in the
scoring
second
drives.
quarter.
10-18 in the second, so
Oh,
that's
gosh,
10
that's
plus
right.
another 9. So you're looking at almost 20 minutes of football that you've held Union off the, out of the end zone, off the scoreboard.
Well,
Can you find a way to keep this momentum?
Absolutely, you can.
High onside kick up the far side. The ball nearly falls to the turf. A sliding catch made at the 34-yard line. Well, that's why you put a receiver in that spot if you're Union, because that was a tough catch by Gino Boyd right there. But
if you can't kick it out of the end zone, that's what those are little things I used to do. Those high onsides, try to put it on the 20 and then make them make a decision. And you'd be surprised how many turnovers you get throughout the year.
may pay dividends down the road in this game. Tigers looking for another stop. Union 1st and 10 from their own 34. Pass out to the near side. Grayson Tempest tripped up from behind. He got about 6, maybe 7 yards on the play, though. Boy, they mark him clear out to the 43, I think. That's a gain of 9.
Yeah. Just that little quick play action and throw it. Just get it in and out of your hands.
The jungle and a light display in the south end zone. .3:10 to play, 2 receivers left, 1 right. Here's the snap. Quick pressure. Lob pass up the right side, and it is caught. Great catch by Boyd up the near side. Dietrich Moore put Reising on his backside, and a nice show of sportsmanship as they help each other up off the ground. But that's a really good ball under pressure by Reising and a good catch by Boyd.
Yes, I mean, it was great coverage, too.
That, you don't see many sophomores that'll stand in and take a hit like that and deliver that kind of a ball.
I know, he did a great job.
2 receivers left, 1 right. 1st and 10 from the Tiger 31 as the Union offense tries to turn the faucet back on. Tempest motions right to left. Reising dumps it over the middle. It's caught at the 25. Hit immediately and brought down. No more yards after the catch there on the catch for Gage Arthur.
That's a great concept situation in those 3 receivers. You know, you had one hitch up here, and then you had to move out there, and you just hit that thing right there in the middle.
Demarius Reynolds.
Second down and 4 coming up here. Brief pause here on the field. Ball on the Tiger 25-yard line. We've seen a couple of red zone stops for the Broken Arrow defense already.
Yeah.
Some lightning way off in the distance to our southeast. I think that should be moving the other direction.
They got their heavy lineman in there.
Handoff straight up the middle. McKinney bounces it left side. Ricochets off of a would-be tackler. He's brought down for a gain of 3, about a 1 yard short.
Back does a good job of finding that opening.
Yeah.
They do a good job on that play.
And they have not fallen backwards just about at all this evening.
That's when they're in the heavy. Now, you see, they're in heavy, but yet they can.
What is going on here? Racing under center, trying to push forward on the quarterback sneak. He's thrown backwards. Oh, boy, that was a generous spot.
They did. They're giving it to him. Holy cow.
There was not a lot of movement up front there, and he's granted at least a full yard, maybe a yard and a half. It'll be 1st and 10 Union from the 21. That's the first time we've seen that kind of.
Boy, they were generous. You're correct.
You know, Spav, it strikes me the receiver on the near side backed off the line of scrimmage as Reising went in motion. That looked funky.
I noticed that too.
I'm not sure if that was intended or not. High formation after the motion to the backfield. There's motion up front, it looks like. False start will move the Redhawks back 5 yards.
Full start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
But sometimes you do
bonkers.
more than you need to this early in the year. You know, they're jump, shifting, trading, moving, you know, and stuff, and sometimes that costs you.
1st and 15 now from the 26-yard line.
So
2 receivers
heavy
left.
Personnel.
Double tight ends right. Fake handoff. Reising rolling right. Still rolling right. Launching it down the field for the end zone. It is broken up in the end zone.
Oh, great play.
That was a great recovery. Was that Wilson on the? It was. Wilson came off of the man he was covering because the guy that was intended for was open.
He leaked open.
Wilson did a great job coming off of his man and impacting that play.
I mean, they had it covered early. And
that was a guy coming over from the backside.
He extended the bootleg quite a bit and then threw that late at the middle.
I'll tell you what, Shaker Reising just does not seem to get rattled. The way he extended that play, that's tough to deal with as an opposing defense. 2nd and 15. Handoff, right side, McKinney breaks a tackle. Inside the 20, pushing his way forward. I mean, he runs like he is on fire and running towards water. That he just is downhill all the way.
Well, we missed so many tackles. I mean, we missed probably 3 tackles on that play.
You have got to wrap him up and get him somewhat vertical, or he's just going to drag you with him. 3rd and 5 from the Tigers 16. Union leading 20-7. 1 minute to play in the 3rd quarter. 2 receivers split out right, including Tempest in the slot. He's off the line with the tight end on the right side of the formation.
Empty now.
Yep, 2 receivers left. A whistle and a timeout from the Tiger sideline.
Okay, something was
afoot.
Something was not right.
Broken arrow.
You know, jumping into empty. See, this is 4-down territory now, too. I don't think they have a good field goal kicker. I think they've shown that, didn't they?
Yeah, if you don't, let's say you throw a pass here and it's incomplete, you're looking at a 33-yarder. I don't know how keen the coaching staff would be on that. I don't think Coach Frederick would be super hyped about that possibility.
I just think either way.
Spav, I've noticed that time you had a tight end on the line and then you had the inside receiver on the line on the backside of the play.
Mm-hmm.
Those inside receivers have been on the line quite a bit, but they will switch it up some. How much does that make a difference defensively, depending on who's on the line of scrimmage?
Huge, because it tells you whether you need to play off, can you play press, can you do things. I mean, it's huge. Can you go in motion? Are you going to crack? Are you going to do things? There's a lot of things that you got to figure out because of their on or off the line of scrimmage. That is huge. That's a good point. Good question.
Is that something that these defensive backs are capable of?
Yes.
They can make those adjustments on the fly as opposed to having to come from the press box?
See, your number 3 is on the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
So
3rd and 5. Here comes a blitz. Ricing under pressure, scrambling left, breaking to the outside. He's got a first down inside the 5-yard line and finally pushed out of bounds inside the 5.
Dang.
He's sneaky athletic, Spav.
I know, but that was it was a good call by us, and then we lose contain, let the quarterback go. And that's happened to me many, many times. I'm not saying it's perfect, but you just hate that as the defensive coordinator.
Man's on the stop. Here's the snap. Ricing faked the handoff, took it himself, breaks a couple of tackles, and dives towards the pylon. He's short, but not by a lot.
Tempest. I think that's Tempest.
Oh, sure enough, that was Tempest.
Yeah.
Mans forces him out of bounds again. J.Q. Mans listed as the backup to Elijah Wilson. Having some impact here on this drive. 2nd and goal from the 1. A long drive for the Redhawks here. Clock down under half a minute now in the 3rd.
A lot of time off the clock.
Boy, this is a power set if I've ever seen one. 3 tight ends. Motion left to right. Fullback in the game as well. Ricing takes a snap, hands it off. Straight up the middle. McKinney pushing towards the left side, and he's in.
Yeah, that's an old, their offense coordinator was at Jinx. That's an old Jinx formation right there, where you just line up in what we call 22 personnel.
I mean, that's
2 tight ends and
that's
2 backs, and it's
one of those situations where offensively you're kind of at the mindset of we have 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line. We better be able to punch this in on the ground because you don't want to take the risk of putting it in the air, and good teams are able to do that.
That formation makes it tough too, because 2 tight ends, that's tough to line up with. So you're going to have a weakness to it. You have to either line up this way and then rotate the secondary the other way, whatever. You have to line up to it, and it's very difficult because
Union going for 2 here. They hand it to Tempest, rolling back to his right, dumps it to the back of the end zone, and it's caught. He found the tight end, Wood. Boy, that was a creative play.
It was.
Gave it to him on what looked like an end around, and he basically ran his own reverse.
It was kind of like a boot.
A pitch boot. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No. I mean, because that's the tight end. That's one of the, that's the flag route, you might say, on the boot.
(28-7), the new score. 19 seconds to play in the 3rd. In a game that's been a fairly long football game. We're now a little over 2 hours in, and we're not yet to the 4th quarter.
It has. But penalties, passing, all that is really.
Yeah, we've seen it combined. Let me do some math here on the fly, which I will admit is not my strong suit. 33, 43 passes between the 2 teams in this game. That's quite a few for a high school football.
And Union is throwing the ball so much more than they have in the past. And it's effective. Don't get me wrong, it's effective. They got the people. They're doing a good job utilizing their personnel. Even their tailback is split out as a wide receiver and utilizing him. So it's pretty dangerous what they're doing. And it's tough on our part to line up to all this early in the year, especially because there's so many formations and personnel groups you got to line up to. It's been difficult.
Union is averaging 7.2 yards a carry, which is helping set up that pass game. They've thrown for 180. They've run for 209. Those numbers, frankly, you would have maybe expected them to have scored more points than they have. Here's the kick. It's caught by Jones back at the 5-yard line. Up the right hash. Hesitates. Spins off a tackler. Trying to get around the right side. He's not going to get anywhere. Brought down around the 17-yard line. It'll be a long field here for the Tiger offense.
Yeah, see, that's inside the 20. You could see them come down. They got some dangerous people coming down on that kickoff team. They look pretty brutal. I know.
28-10 with 10 seconds left. Yeah, our spotter, Jeremy Bryan, just pointed out they've been kicking them short. Why the change, do you think?
I don't know. Just the way we're lined up and stuff. It's just one deep, and they figure they could break through.
Hand off left side. Undercut. And a flag down in the backfield. That was Harris on the tote. Brought down for a loss of 3.
But see, again, that's their safeties coming down. That's their safeties coming down.
And those guys have not been afraid to come down and get to the football on these runs.
Offense.
You got a hold against Broken Arrow.
Still first down.
The flag is down a few yards deep in the backfield.
Second down.
Oh, the penalty's declined. Yeah. So they'll take the loss of 2 and the loss of down, bringing up 2nd and 12 instead of 1st and 20.
Right.
You know, with the Tigers that close to the end zone, I'm a little surprised to see that, to be honest.
But if you look at what they're doing now, they're manning up the outside guys, and they'll leak a safety in the middle perhaps, if they read pass right off, but play action, whatever, they're going to be running downhill right now.
That brings us to the end of the 4th quarter with Union leading Broken Arrow 28-7. We'll take a break. This is Broken Arrow Tiger football on ArrowVision.
Choice to kick a field goal from the 10, 15, or 20-yard line for a chance to win $100, $150, or $250 from First National Bank of Broken Arrow. Let's make some noise for Grace. Sorry you didn't connect on the field goal attempt, Grace, but for giving a great effort, Greg Graham, Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of the Board for First National Bank of Broken Arrow, would still like to present you with $50. Thanks to First National Bank of VA, Broken Arrow's hometown bank, for all they do for Broken Arrow Public Schools and our city.
If you and your family have been waiting for the perfect time to jump into your dream home, it's here. We make buying a new home as easy as it is exciting with quick credit approvals and great rates. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
We head to the 4th quarter with Union leading Broken Arrow 28-7. The Redhawks have outgained the Tigers 389-159 on the evening. I'm Adam Hildebrand alongside Steve Spavital. Madison Dildine down on the sidelines for us. Madison, I don't know that we've talked to you in this half, so we need to sit down to Madison and hear from her a little bit. What are you picking up from the sideline? Have you gotten to jump into any huddles over the course of the second half?
Yeah, I've sat in on some of our defensive huddles, and they're holding each other accountable, but they're also not putting the blame on themselves, but holding themselves accountable as well. They're saying, that's on me, and in their words, not mine, you got to freaking tackle, guys.
Well, you can't argue with that.
No. And she's right. That's exactly what we need to do. We're missing tackles.
Dump pass to the left side. Caught at the 12. Drug down from behind. That looked kind of like a horse collar from where we are, but I don't think he actually got him up on the back of the shoulder pads. That was Jones brought down on the catch there. Caden Jones, to be specific. You got 3 Jones in the backfield at any given time, and none of them are related to each other. That makes it a little confusing at times.
Exactly.
3rd and about 13. Tigers now moving left to right. Long wait for the play here.
Oh.
Whoa, the pocket collapsed in a hurry. Owen Jones goes down for the sack back at the 8-yard line. The Tigers will have to punt out of their own end zone.
It was like a single receiver route. It seemed like, he's looking at one particular receiver. He was covered, and that was it. The pocket collapsed.
Well, that'll bring the punt team on the field. Right now, the solo man sitting out there is Joshua Wilhite. He's the lone guy on offense out there waiting to be joining the punt team.
Right.
You got to be careful here. In your own end zone, kicking to Grayson Tempest. That's not a spot you'd like to be.
When they're coming after it.
Punt is away. Looks like a good kick. Hits at the 38 and takes a hard left out of bounds.
Well, that's a good punt because you're not punting to him. He's going to field that punt. That's what Tempest does, and he's good at it. And those are the most dangerous punt returners you can get, the ones that know how to field punts, especially on turf, obviously, because all your games are on turf.
Not only field punts, but more often than not, he's been fielding punts while running downhill.
Yes.
So he's got a head of steam, and he's a quick guy to begin with. So that's, he's.
Well, you got to understand 10-yard rule. You got to be 10 yards, from when the ball bounces.
See if we can get a look at his yards per return. Handoff left side. McKinney turned the corner. Flag down at the line of scrimmage. McKinney will get knocked out of bounds inside the 10-yard line, but that was right at the point of attack. A hold seems fairly likely at this point. In fact, the referee is holding up the chain crew.
Well, he bounced. We forced him to bounce it, and our leverage player was the one that was being held. He couldn't make the play because he's just being held.
Flag on the play.
Spav, to emphasize your point on that being a good kick because you didn't allow Grayson Tempest to return it. He's got 4 returns for 52 yards.
I know.
That's 13 yards on average. So anything that doesn't allow him to return a punt, that's a win.
He's good. He's very good. And they're very aggressive on the front of the punt, block. Are they blocking? Are they holding up? Are they, what are they doing?
Casey's across the street has picked up quite a bit of activity this evening with the home game across the street. Handoff right side to McKinney. He gets about 3 yards down to the 46-yard line. Also was entirely unaware that there was a Domino's across the street now.
Just got it. We just had the pizza.
Yeah, I know.
That's what you're eating. That's
it was delicious.
Domino's is great pizza. It's right here. And I tell you what's even better is Rib Crib.
There you go.
They support our hospitality room, and that is the most amazing. That stuff sell. If you want to say sell out, that thing empties out quickly.
They're also,
you better get there early to eat.
They're also pivotal in bringing you inside Tiger football every week.
Yes, they're amazing. Rib Crib is.
Now I'm hungry for Rib Crib.
Yeah.
The snap taken on the right side by Reising. He tried to dump it off on the screen, and immediately
the
receiver was
screen
hit. That was Tempest with the catch.
It was like a screen development all the way. You could see it, and we read it, and
that was Condrey on the tackle.
Well, make sure you call him Logan now.
Lane.
Isn't it? Because even though our sheets
roster's got Sterling.
I know. So the coaches are the ones that have messed us up.
Madison Dildine might have inside information. Madison.
Yeah, guys, it's Lane Condrey.
Or Lane.
Lane.
We were hoodwinked.
Well, but our sheets say Sterling.
Exactly.
So,
that's why we were hoodwinked.
We're getting blamed for something that's not our fault. We apologize.
It'll all come together eventually.
Yeah.
In any case, I'm glad he's out there making plays.
Maybe the coaches will put it right on the roster.
They got a stoppage here. Did Union take a timeout?
That looks like it.
Tiger fans, each home game.
We took a
timeout. 9:37 to play in the fourth quarter. 28-7. Union leading over Broken Arrow. It's 3rd and 16, so a chance for the Tigers to get off the field here on 3rd down.
Oh, we're playing good defense right here. We're playing all the screen developments. we're really being effective.
You know, Spav, you look at the two halves, or about 2.5 minutes into this fourth quarter, Union scored 20 points and moved the ball for darn near 300 yards in the first half. Union has moved the ball for only 95 yards here in the second half, and the Tigers are right behind them at 87. This has been a much more even game, since about from the 9-minute mark of the second quarter on. The problem is in those first 15 minutes of the game, Union got spotted 20 points.
Correct, yes. I mean, this has been such a much better game here the second half,
and we talked
really,
about some of that in the first half with the defense kind of getting steadily better
right
drive by drive.
In the second quarter, yes.
The offense has gotten a little better, hasn't made quite as many gains as the defense has, but you're again seeing improvement over the course of this contest, and hopefully that's a sign of things to come. Pressure immediately on Rising. He's able to dump it off. That was nearly intercepted. Bring up 4th down and 15. We're seeing a lot more pressure on Shaker Rising in the second half also.
Well, we're doing a good job with our D-liner. It's really good at pressure, really doing a good job pressuring. Linebackers are getting more active now, which is good.
It seems like the coverage is maybe getting a little bit better downfield as well. Punt team is on. Matthews is back to return for Broken Arrow. He's standing at his own 10-yard line. This is a situation where it's hard to do a lot as the punt returner. Wobbly kick over the far side. Bounces off of Matthews and is dropped at the 20-yard line. I think Union might be on it.
Wow.
We've got a whistle, though. The officials are getting together here. Was there a defender close enough to be deemed to have interfered with Matthews?
I don't think so, but
I mean, they're clearly.
I could be wrong. It just looked like a clean drop to me.
I thought so too. We are not currently getting any sort of indication from the officials, and the Union offense and the Broken Arrow defense are on the field. Josh Blankenship didn't seem to.
We had an inadvertent whistle.
The
play will be we will replay that down.
Oh.
There we go, yeah.
Boy, that's a break. So an inadvertent whistle, and there was a whistle. It was right at the point where Matthews had the ball hit him, and I think the whistle may have been kind of assumed that he was going to catch it, and therefore it was going to stop the play.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
That's a huge break for the Tigers. Redhawks fans are less than pleased.
Yeah. But that's the right call when they do it, though. And I mean, it happens occasionally.
Sideline warning called against Union here after the reaction to the call. Well, that's a tough one to swallow, but we play on. And?
Who's back for us now? The same guy?
It's still Matthews, yeah.
Come on, Matthews.
Whoa, snap was a little high, but the punt is away. It's a pretty good kick. Fair catch called for. Oh, they definitely interfered with that one. That hit a Union player, and then it's picked up by Union at the 15-yard line. That had to be kick-catch interference. No, they're saying that there had to be kick-catch interference. They literally put a wall between Cade Matthews and the ball. It hit a Union player in the back of the head.
But where are they placing the ball? It was never.
They're going to, well, in theory, without the flag, it would be dead when it hit the Union player, which was at roughly the 19-yard line. But you have to give him the opportunity to catch the ball.
I know. Yes. I mean, he couldn't catch it. He called fair catch. Get out of his way.
Yeah, this is a goofy sequence. See what the Tiger offense can do here. Hand off over the right side. Not a lot of room to work with. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down and 10 as the Union defense pushes the ball carrier back. That was Nate Jones on the carry that time.
Yeah, see, Union's good with their run fitting. You know, they had those linebackers downhill right there at the line of scrimmage right next to them. That's tough to run against.
They play that 3-4 Spav. When you've got the size in the middle like they have with Thomas. Then you've got the linebackers, not only the speed on the outside they can fit, but we talked earlier about Bryce Ashlock, 6 foot 220 in the middle there. I mean, they've got really good personnel to run a 3-4. Here's a reverse pass, a bomb up the near side, and it is incomplete. Contact on the play, but no call. Caleb Barnett, I think, adjusted his route a little bit too early, to be honest. I think if he would have kept running, he would have had a chance to catch that ball.
I know.
That was a pretty good throw. Who threw that? Was that Matthews? He launched that ball.
I thought it was a good throw, too.
Third down and 10 from the 18-yard line. Two receivers right, two tight ends left. Back to pass. Owen Jones throwing it deep, looking for Matthews. It's a jump ball, and it's intercepted by the Redhawks at the 43-yard line. Matthews had a step on the defender, but instead, it's Thomas Goddard that comes up with the interception.
Yeah.
Throw is just a little bit behind him.
That's as good as a punt.
That's true. Actually, considering you didn't have to punt it to Grayson Tempest, it might be better than a punt.
I know. He's not going to return it.
First and 10, Redhawks from their own 44. 28-7 the score, 8:09 remaining. Union jumped out to a 20-0 lead. They've played more or less even since then. But that 20-point advantage has kept Union at arm's length away from Broken Arrow. Handoff. Not a lot of room that time for McKinney. He's spun down by about 6 different defenders. There is the potential for emotions to start running a little high here with some frustration. So you got to guard against that.
Well, absolutely. There's no doubt there. Now they're keeping it kind of simple now. It's like they're in a 4-minute offense, you know.
Yeah, trying to run some clock. Well, and frankly, at this point, if you're Union, you're out in front. You should be able, with pretty simple plays, to be able to run the football and pick up first downs when you need to. And you don't necessarily want to show all your bells and whistles, because this very in the last 2 years, these two teams have met in the playoffs. So you don't want to show them everything.
Right.
Two receivers
but
left.
They're keeping the same personnel groupings. They're keeping 11 personnel, so they're not trading in and out of personnel groups.
Rising will let this run all the way down inside 5 seconds. Down to 2 seconds. Oh, Union's going to take a timeout. A rather purposeful timeout.
Yeah, because they have 3.
So they ran that all the way down to a second. 7:01 to play here in the fourth quarter. We'll take a short break. This is Broken Arrow Tiger football here on ArrowVision.
Right now, get $200 from TTCU Federal Credit Union when you open a new checking account with direct deposit. What would you buy with $200?
Cars, race cars, my own apartment, 100 coloring books, and a puppy.
Or maybe some groceries and a tank of gas. $200 for whatever works for you from TTCU, because life is better in balance.
They did not. Game 2 of this 2022 football season. Broken Arrow hosting Union tonight. It's the Redhawks with a 28-7 advantage. Union looking to move to 2-0 in the season. Broken Arrow, unless something changes, will fall to 0-2. But after a rough start to this game, Spav, I think there are some areas that have been certainly improved on, and while it's going to, again, leave a sour taste in the mouth, you're seeing some improvements.
But you're playing the #1 team in the state. You're playing a great football team. This is a better football team we played last week, and we're doing a much better job than we did last week.
Yeah, I think this is pretty clearly an all-around, hands-down better football team in the Union Redhawks we saw last week in Bentonville.
Correct.
Bentonville did some good things. Let's not just completely poo-poo Bentonville, but this is an incredibly talented football team at Union.
Absolutely. In all areas. Defensively, they're so much more aggressive than what we faced last week. I mean, we're not going to face a defense this aggressive. These guys are tough, aggressive. They're great tacklers. They come downhill hard. They got good size defensively. Now, offensively, they just got some weapons.
3rd down and 6 here for Union. The jungle hasn't quieted down much.
No,
they're still rowdy over there in the south.
They're just a bunch of crazies.
3rd and 6. Rising, moving left, passing left. Tempest on the catch, breaks a tackle. Into the open field, makes another man miss. Down inside the 30. Finally wrestled down around the 24-yard line.
See how they sneak? They run the bootleg so many different ways. They had him leaking out of the backfield. That was really a good play.
J.Q. Mann's on the stop. 1st and 10 now, Union from the Broken Arrow 24. Under 6 to play. Handoff, left side. McKinney breaks a tackle. He's in the open field. Drugged down, and a flag is down. That'll be a face mask because his helmet was pulled off. Subsequently, McKinney will be allowed to stay in the game.
Yeah.
As one of his offensive linemen helps him up off the turf. Now is Maddox Gilkey to left guard all the way over there to help him up. Oh, you know what? No, he's going to the sideline.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just at the college level. If it gets pulled off, you can stay in.
No, I think you can here too, but I think maybe perhaps they chose to put him
swap personnel.
Yeah, and he ran good there. There wasn't much of a running lane there.
No.
And he popped through it and just broke some arm tackles and got into the secondary.
You're seeing how dangerous Union is in the open
Fouls
field.
on that play. First one, Cohen, offense.
That'll change things.
Personal foul, face mask, defense. Those penalties offset, replay, 1st down.
Wow.
So the hold will offset the face mask, and we'll go right back out to the 24-yard line and do that all over again.
There we go.
It's Neely in the backfield with Rising.
Now they got trips in the boundary now.
It's going to get interesting in a hurry.
Yeah.
Nobody over the top, no safety over the top of that receiver up top. Handoff right side, good penetration, and Neely is drugged down in the backfield for a loss of about 3.
That was an interesting play. That was a draw, where they pulled the lead up in the hole in the draw. That was pretty neat from that formation.
That was Alston Brown on the tackle that time for Broken Arrow. Do you feel like, Spad, that this defense is getting used to lining up against these goofy formations a little bit more, or has Union dialed those back a little bit in the second?
They've dialed them back a little bit, but they're still multiple.
Quick pass right side.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Tempest lost the football. It's loose at the 32-yard line, and the Tigers dive on it.
Good.
That was Brown that came up with the loose ball. He just had the tackle on the last play. He gets the fumble recovery here.
I just had a feeling they're doing that. It looks like they set it up the last play when they were over here. They had trips in this boundary. Put trips in that boundary and just threw it over there. As a good play by them because they've had some success with it. But, boy, we came up and made them pay on that one.
The Tigers continuing to show fight down the stretch here.
Yes.
It would be quite the confidence boost and the spirit lifter for the Tiger offense if they could go get one in the end zone here late.
We need to so bad.
There's a pitch on the jet sweep. Grabbed by the back of the jersey and thrown down was Kyrie Harris. Loss of about 6 or so, back to the 27-yard line. Harris in motion for the jet sweep. We've not seen that much this year.
No, we haven't.
I say this year as if we were, 6-7 games in. This is week 2, so
yeah,
we're going to see some new things coming yet.
Right, but we cannot run on the edge. We cannot run perimeter pressure.
And there's a couple of concerns there as Harris gets another carry over the left side this time.
They have taken away.
Edge blocking, yes, is one thing, but we need to see, at least from my perspective, some of these receivers assert themselves in the run game a little bit more.
Yes.
If you're going to run successfully on the outside, you've got to have blocking on the outside.
That's right.
3rd down and 10.
But it's hard because there's safety. Look where the safeties are. The safeties are 5 yards deep.
Going to throw it this time. Near side. Looking for Matthews. He caught it. Was he in bounds? Yes, he was. Boy, that's a nice catch by Cade Matthews on the near sideline.
Good throw.
And that's one of those things, Spath, it's a rhythm throw, it's a rhythm route, and they were out of rhythm early on in this game.
And this man coverage, he's running a little comeback route, so that like you said, that's got to be on time.
And off up the middle. Harris, another 4 yards or so, down to the Union 46. Clock approaching 3 minutes, so there's a lineman down for Broken Arrow. Trying to get a look at who that is. He's up on his feet.
55.
That is Ross Martin, the left guard. Walking off under his own power, so that's at least a decent sign.
Yes, that's a good thing.
Boy, this is a physical game.
Oh, it is.
Made even more physical by that size up front for Union. You got a 300-pounder, a couple of guys at 275 as well up front. Smallest guy on that front line is Pointer, who's 6 foot 205. Deep ball up the near side. Matthews again couldn't quite bring it in over his shoulder.
Yeah, that's a good ball, though.
Yeah, it was.
And we had a chance on it.
Tell you what, one thing I've noticed tonight, those guys running downfield, even when they've been open, that big connection to Matthews early in the game, he was only about a step ahead of the wide receiver. The corners have covered well. Here's another deep ball. Looking for Barnett this time. It is deflected. Boy, that's an incredible close by the corner on the near side. And the pass was a little bit short. That helped him get back to it, but Thomas Goddard
was open again.
Closed well. Yeah,
I mean, they were open. They just closed it. But what's funny is the safety, boy, he takes off running once he sees it. See, they're shallow. They're playing shallow. Now they're playing a little deeper here, but the linebackers are blitzing. That's why.
Fourth
so
down
they're going to
and
rotate the
6.
coverage here.
Can you protect Owen Jones enough to let him get a pass off?
Yeah, they're playing halves now.
Oh, he's got a man on the right side. It is caught at the 35. That's a first down to the 30. That is Rummins inside the 30-yard line and wrestled down at the 29. The defender slipped. Rummins got by him and then basically just sat in the hole since that defender had fell down. First and 10 from the Union 29. Jones looking left, throwing it deep, left side, and just out of the outstretched reach of the receiver up the far side. I think that was Goins maybe over there.
Who was that?
That was Antonio Jones. The brochure said there wouldn't be this many Jones.
There's the zone coming. I see there's that guy.
Too quick of pursuit to the outside, though. I mean,
there's
that's
safeties.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hats to the football on a play to the wide side or to the edge of the formation. That's pretty elite pursuit by a defense there.
Well, they're just covering 2 guys, and then the safeties are playing downhill 100 miles an hour. Have to get some kind of play action somehow, and it's tough.
3rd and 12. Nope. About to be 3rd and 7. Union jumped into the neutral zone.
5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So we got both tight ends in now.
Nate Jones in it, tailback, 3rd and 7. Here's the snap. Zips it over the right side behind the receiver, incomplete, looking for McMillan.
Looked like confusion because we got 2 receivers in the same
area. That's usually a telltale sign that something was up or something was wrong. Rummins will move to the left side. 1:58 to play.
Keeping both tight ends in.
Nate Jones still the tailback to the right of Owen Jones in the backfield. 4th and 7. Jones immediately under pressure. Scrambling right, tucks it. He is hit, but somehow just slips through the tackler.
Good tough.
He ends up getting
tough
about
run.
5 yards. It just won't quite be enough.
Yeah.
He had nothing, nowhere to go. He immediately got pushed out of the pocket. Uh-oh. Jones is down on the sideline. Now he's up.
He's a tough kid. He's a wrestler.
He took a pretty good lick on that hit.
You know what's funny about that? We got a wrestler who's a quarterback. My son at Texas State has a quarterback now that was a 4-time state champion wrestler out of Little Rock.
Wow.
Not too many quarterbacks run around with cauliflower ears.
When I was working in Missouri, we covered the state wrestling championships, and we did it for a network of about 12 stations that were within our radio family across the state. I have never been more tired after state wrestling week in Missouri.
Yeah.
A pitch to the right side. McKinney has got a head of steam, and he's tripped up.
That was that toss sweep out of that formation now.
Yep. And went back to it.
Yeah.
That'll move the chains.
Quarterback
for the first
underneath
down.
center. It's either going to be a toss or.
The Tigers only have one timeout left. I would think we'd see Union in the victory formation here moving forward. But maybe not. Union has only gained 132 yards in this half after putting up 297 in the first. In fact, they're almost even, Broken Arrow and Union, yardage-wise, and the only difference in the score in the second half is Union got a 2-point conversion, BA kicked a PAT.
But, our offense kept the ball a little bit longer.
Yeah, and that's helpful for the defense because they were out there a bunch in the first half.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
There's the victory formation for Union. Rising. Takes the snap, takes the knee. Clock is under 40 seconds. That'll be no, it won't be the last play of the game as the Tigers take a timeout.
Why would we do that, I wonder?
And it's the last timeout for the Tigers. (28-7) the score. Timeout from Broken Arrow will keep the Union offense on the field for one more snap.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
Tiger defense getting instructed by several coaches before they're sent back out. And we'll have one more play.
There we go.
Victory formation back out there. There's a snap. Whoa. Quite a bit of motion, but all of it is split up just fine. And the clock is on the move, heading down towards 15 seconds. That'll be the final play of the game as Broken Arrow cannot stop the clock at this point. Yeah, both teams clear the field. That'll do it. Union wins at 28-7. Need to go back and look up the exact amount, Spab, but it's been a minute since Broken Arrow started 0-2 in the season.
I know. It's been a while.
Not the end of the world by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
You got some room for improvement, certainly.
But, we faced a better team this week. I really feel that. And we played much better than we did last week.
Yeah.
Even though offensively we were out of control. I understand that. But defensively we played much better on a much better offense than we faced last week. So we're seeing some good things. Now next week we need to see a lot more improvement in that, and then boom.
Sounds like Madison Dildine might be with Coach down on the sideline. Madison?
Coach, where did you see improvements from last week?
Defense, man. They played their tail off, even with us putting them in a bad spot offensively. Offensively, we were, like I said in the first half, we were tentative, and that's on me, man. I had a bad plan. We got too cute. We got to go to work, get better at what we do.
Your team never lost composure, even in those moments of adversity. What does that say about your leadership?
We've got great leadership, man. I've said that since we started in off season. I absolutely love this group, and even there at the end, they're still battling. So I wish we could learn these lessons without a loss, but we'll go back to work.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much, Coach, and thank you, Madison. All in all,
love what he said.
Yeah,
Love it.
Seems like he's very much, into where this team is, how hard this team is working right now. And we talked about that defense,
I'm telling you.
Union is a very, very good football team. And here's the honest truth of 6A2 football here in the state of Oklahoma. The team that wins in week 2 and week 3 often is not the team that wins come semifinals or finals in the playoffs. You see that time and time again.
I've seen Jinx go 0-4.
Yeah. And
win a state championship
we
just
saw
a few years ago.
Owasso beat up on Broken Arrow early in the season last year, and then Broken Arrow turned around and beat him in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So lessons learned in games in these early portions of the year can pay massive dividends down the road, and it's important. Yeah, the record's 0-2. That kind of stinks. Nobody's super hyped about that, but it's important to keep the proper perspective about it.
Well, and Coach Blankenship is so positive with those kids, and they work so hard. I've seen it firsthand. Those kids work hard, and they're not afraid or shy or anything of anybody. They're going to keep working hard, and I guarantee it's going to show off. We're going to see the benefits of that here as we go through this season, because we're going to get better and better. He's going to see it. He's taking blame for this. I don't think he needs to take the blame. He just said his game plan was not right. Well, as coaches, those things happen. But we're going to see some really good things as we go throughout this season.
Spav, big plays were a big problem last week, and the defense still gave some chunk plays up tonight. There were several runs of 10 or more yards, but there was only 2 runs of more than 20 yards. There were only 3 passes of more than 20 yards for Union this evening. So in terms of those major busts, we didn't see any of those tonight.
No.
Where last week we saw wide receivers running down the field open for Bentonville,
Right.
we didn't see that this evening for Union. And that's encouraging to me for 2 reasons. One, there's more talent on this Union roster, hands down. But 2, they also throw more formations at you than Bentonville
gosh,
did.
I'm telling you.
And so that's a clear sign of improvement moving from week 1 to week 2.
Absolutely.
But it's not. You're not there yet, though. You got to continue to build on it.
Right. And you're going to take the film and learn from that, because you're going to see all these formations, and you're going to find something like, okay, we should have been outside leverage and we were inside leverage. There's some things that you're going to fix as we get on there, and you're going to see these formations. But we're going to see these formations throughout the year, but not massively like we did tonight. They were in so many different formations. Proud of the defense, what they did. I'm seeing some improvement on the second level and third level than we did the previous game. So we're on the right track, and I'm excited about what I'm seeing. Yeah, you're right.
Offense was a struggle. You got to figure out how to run the ball more consistently, because the running game in particular was tough tonight.
Because they shut down every one of our what we do.
Yeah, the
they
Tigers
shut it down.
Tigers did not have a carry of more than 10 yards tonight, and that's unusual. But I was a little bit encouraged by some of the deep balls on the fades we saw up the sidelines. You hit on a couple. You had gains of 54 yards and 47 yards. So those were both big gains that were certainly positives. And then you had a few more that were just near misses. And you don't have to hit on every one of those, but if you can show that that's a threat, that will prevent other teams from those safeties coming down.
It opens up your screen game if you can throw vertical, and stuff. But I'm telling you, they played their safeties downhill so hard. It's just one-on-one coverage. And our cats aren't that bad. You could see we're wide open and made some good throws. But, we have to be able to hit some vertical game. That opens up our screen. But, again, they took away every one of our run plays that our bread and butter run plays. And that's what a good defense does. I mean, when I was defense coordinator, that's what I practiced too. I'm going to take your top 5-6 plays, and you're not going to be able to run them. But they had so many multiple formations, it made it a lot more difficult.
That it did. Let's go down to the sideline one more time in Madison Dildine. Madison, what are your final thoughts from down there at field level?
I think it's really encouraging that we're already seeing improvements when the season is still really, really, really young. I will say last week when I went 100 yards with Coach, he said the trust is so critical in that when your guys trust you and you trust them, they can be a voice for what you're trying to emphasize with the whole group. And that's what I've seen from pregame to the final snap in both games that we've played so far. So I think we still have obviously a way to go, but we're trending in the right direction.
That's a good point. Thank you, Madison. And I think where you see that trust is that this team did compete for the full 4 quarters. If you start to lose that trust, you start to lose the care factor
Absolutely.
too. And so it is important to keep that intact as you move through even a couple of tough games.
Yeah, and even when you have this adversity this early in the year, I think what you're going to find because of our kids and the way Coach Blankenship feels about them is they're going to continue to work extremely hard because they're not losing any faith or trust in the coaches. So, they're going to really continue to work hard. And I really believe that. I can see that. I mean, I get up here early in the morning, I look over here, and they're up here. They're already up here. I get here at 6:30. They're already here lifting. And, I mean, it's like, they're lifting hard and heavy and doing things, and you just get excited when you watch these kids prepare.
It's not going to get a whole lot easier next week. Owasso rolls into Tiger Memorial Stadium for another showdown between Tulsa suburbs here, and that one will be another good one Friday night, another chance for a step in the right direction, and it's your last chance for improvement before you get into district play.
We'll get after them. Quite a bit. I mean, our kids, the good thing, our kids aren't afraid to play them. I bet you they're excited.
They won the last game against them.
They're excited to play against them, is that the backyard brawl or something? What?
Patriot
Bowl. Yeah. And, that's an important game. I mean, when I was coaching the BA, you just don't lose to Owasso. You don't lose to them. You're going to beat them no matter what. And our kids feel that way. And so they're going to give them a heck of a game. They're going to do some good things because I think they're kind of down on what happened with the Bixby game.
That one's 7 o'clock next Friday night. We'll be looking forward to carrying that one for you on ArrowVision as well. And, of course, we hope you'll come out and join us here at Tiger Memorial Stadium also. A big thank you to Madison Dildine down on the sidelines tonight for us. We had Skip Hyde running stats for us again, keeping us up to date on everything going on. That's a huge help. Jeremy Bryan, our spotter. Terry Sprider pushing the buttons and turning the knobs along with Antonio Hurling. Those guys do really good work behind the scenes. You never see or hear from them, at least unless something goes wrong on one of the knobs, and then you might hear Terry pop on from time to time. But you don't usually hear from them, so they do good work behind the scenes. And then the students, big thanks to them as well. One little quick score update for you before we sign off here. Jinx leading Owasso 14-7 in the fourth quarter at Jinx this evening. So we'll see. Owasso may be coming off of a loss as well, and that could set up a really good one next week. So a big thank you to everyone involved in our production here tonight. We enjoyed it, even though it didn't turn out the way the Tigers wanted. We'll see if they can get in the win column next week at home against Owasso. For Steve Spavital, I'm Adam Hildebrandt saying good night and God bless from Broken Arrow.